The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. This is Maroon Nation.
Still on his feet, the 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
Dowling Catholic football lives here.
Sack in the backfield, back at the 45-yard line.
All
Swing pass is nearly intercepted.
season
It is intercepted.
long.
Dowling with the pick. Kenny James down the far sideline he goes.
It's time for Maroon Football. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Blessman International, Fast Signs, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, Iowa Wealth Management, the Jenny Farrell Team with Remax Concepts, and Bosun the Florist. And now, the voice of Dowling Catholic football, Mark Amadeo.
And a very pleasant good evening and welcome to Valley Stadium here in West Des Moines as we get set for high school football. Believe it or not, week number 4 on an overcast night. Temperature is dipped down into the mid-70s as we got a chance of spotty showers. We hope they will leave us alone a little bit tonight, but it's week 4 of the season alongside Matt Mandring and Brian Morris. I'm Mark Amadale. Welcome. It's Dowling and Southeast Polk, two teams that know a lot about state titles. Dowling winning 7 in a row at one point in the mid-2000s, and the Rams are the 4-time defending champs, and they meet here tonight in week number 4. If you go back a year ago, they met in week number 8. Dowling won that game by 1 point, and Brian Morris, it was a missed extra point by Southeast Polk with 15 seconds remaining that kept that game from going into overtime. But tonight, it's a first of 2 in back-to-back years in this series, and it's always a great matchup for the two teams. Welcome, Brian Morris.
I think looking at the field, man, Southeast Polk, they just look like a team down there. Just the size of the team. They have some big guys. It's going to be a great game tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you're going to be sidelined tonight. And Matt Mandring, your juices just get up. It's Dowling and Southeast Polk. I know next week it's homecoming for Dowling. You can't look past this.
Right.
These are two teams that are not in the same district, for whatever that means with the playoff crunches when they crunch numbers at the end of the year. But these two teams have gotten after it. Southeast Polk had won 4 straight until last year, and Dowling got the win. Oh, by the way, that was Southeast Polk's last loss. They went 5 in a row after they lost to Dowling in week 8, and were 5A state champs.
Yeah. And, one of the things, this is almost like the Valley game anymore. This is the two heavyweights going at it, and both. I can't remember the last time when these two have played where the difference has been more than a touchdown. I mean, I think about the game over there where it was Wampa and company, and that was a close game. I believe we got stopped in a quarterback sneak
at the goal line.
At the goal line, and it's just a dogfight. And you're going to see the same thing tonight. And even though Southeast Polk isn't as rated as high as they have been and whatnot, they're still the champs. And you got to knock them off.
They do. They had in their championship run, they had won 22 games in a row. Now, that wasn't last year, but a couple years ago, so they can put it together. Brad Zelenovich does a great job, and he has a lot of respect for Tom Wilson. Of course, when I have the conversation with Brad, Brian, it's Tom Wilson and Gary Swenson, because that's the two guys he's molded his program on, and rightly so. And this year they've had on offense they have 5 returning starters, where 4 of them are on the offensive line. That means new quarterback, new running backs, and maybe 1 receiver back from last year, and that's their tight end Cantrell. Defensively, they only have 3 returning starters, but their 2 leading tacklers are their defensive linemen, and of course the Rams always have pretty good linebackers, and Overbrockling and Billadu are 2 good ones. So it's going to be 2 teams that kind of mirror each other, would you say, Brian?
And Southeast Polk, I know they have 6 interceptions already this year, so you can't discount that defensive backfield for them.
The one blemish for Southeast Polk, week 2, losing to Iowa City Liberty, who, by the way, is the second-ranked team in Class 5A. So that team came over. Southeast Polk beat them last year in the playoffs, and Liberty got him game 2 over at Southeast Polk. I remember seeing that score, and it was like 27-0 at one point, and then the Rams made it respectable. But The Rams' only blemish this year was a Week 2 loss to Liberty. 38-20 ended up being the final. Liberty with the win.
And they've had a couple of slow starts this year in a couple of games, and they've been able to overcome that. Even last week against Norwalk, right?
That's correct.
They started out a little slow, and that was still a ball game at halftime and into the third quarter, and Norwalk played them tough. And this is a little bit of a different team this year, and is that it's going to be about the number of possessions. And because they are going to be like Valley in that they want to grind it out, extend possessions, keep their offense on the field as long as they can. They are not a big play team right now.
That is correct, and their quarterback doesn't run the football.
Right.
So they'll hand it off to two guys who will probably get 1,000 yards each. Will Southeast Polk, and that's Drew Thompson, number 2, and Stanley Cooper, number 24. Brian, they will interchange their running backs. We'll talk more about the keys in the matchup with each other's defense and offense. But Austin Mark, the quarterback, will hand it off to those two, and every once in a while, T. Cantrell, they'll pass it to him. But it's all done up front with their offensive line, and it might be a whole quarter before you get the ball back, because both these teams have the capabilities of having long, sustained drives.
So you're saying we may be out of here by 9 o'clock tonight, Mark? Hey, that's
well,
I'll take it.
As I've been promoting up here, the Beaverdale Fall Festival gets underway tonight. There's some folks in Beaverdale that might be listening and even watching at 7 o'clock when we join CISN. But, the band will be going at 9. I'd like to see that band before I get done. But go ahead, Brian.
No, I was going to say, you think about Dowling last week, 4 turnovers, that doesn't help. And against a team like Southeast Polk, they cannot have 4 turnovers and still kind of be in this game. If they do, then their defense is still playing lights out. But I mean, you've got to take those turnovers off the page for the Maroons to kind of be in this game tonight. And I think that was one of the things Coach Wilson last week in the post-game interview. The offense is still a little inconsistent for the coaching staff's view.
Yeah, got to clean that up, and also had a block punt that Dowling gave up. But the Maroons came up with a block field goal, and we talked about the Dowling safety, Maddox Capola. He really didn't know what to do with it. If you listen to our interview coming up with Coach Wilson, I said, was he looking to check with me after he caught it with you guys? Because he didn't know what to do. Can I run this back like a punt? And yes, he did.
Yeah. He and I had a conversation in the hallway about that on Monday or Tuesday.
You did?
Yeah. I said, Maddox, did you know what to do with that football? He goes, I did, but I wasn't sure.
Kids, again, you think kids, there was somebody on the Steelers last week that had some Iowa ties that, again,
thanks for
some of
bringing
these
that up.
Rules, people just, when you're on special teams, there's always so many different rules, and that was an Iowa running back, Mark, just FYI.
Yeah. He's gotten that in a couple times. He got that in. I just thought it was a Grimes thing. Brian was getting his digs in.
I got to
Iowa State won. Yeah, we know
2
that.
years in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. I got to take them when I can.
All right. You're listening to the pregame show before tonight's game. Dowling and Southeast Polk set to kick off at 7 o'clock here at Valley Stadium. A late arriving crowd. I see some people tailgating. I don't think I was invited to that one over there either, but that's okay. But they're tailgating, and we should have a pretty good.
Maybe they'll deliver some food to you.
Well, you'd think, but you'd have to order that in advance, Matt. But, we'll be simulcasting tonight at 7 o'clock with the CISN group. So wherever you're at, a lot of activities going on. We've got the Des Moines Oktoberfest in the middle of September going on at Waterworks Park. Downtown Des Moines has some activities, and the Beaverdale Fall Festival.
Yeah.
We also have the Dance Dads tonight. And, Brian, you'll get a bird's eye view of that. I'll make sure the CISN crew get that. Jim Wilberding and a few other dads are down there, and they will be doing that. So I remember doing that when your daughters. Oh, you didn't?
I'll be commentating on that.
Oh, you were no-show. So Johnny Chido at least did it.
Yeah, that's okay.
I remember watching Johnny do it.
Yeah, he had to do it for a couple of years, if I remember right. So that's all good. So we got a lot of things going on. Well, guys, before we get to Coach Wilson, let's talk about the keys. And Brian, you got the Dowling offense against the Southeast Polk defense. And the Ram defense have forced 8 turnovers, as Matt Mandering mentioned. 6 interceptions on the year. Their leading guy is Braden Lewis on defense and also special teams. He's been injured. He hurt his ankle in week 2 against Iowa City Liberty and lost. Sat out last week. He's questionable tonight. He's a game-time decision. That's what Coach Zelenovich told me. Look for number 0. I haven't seen him out there. Not saying he wouldn't play, but he has 2 of their 8 turnovers. But the Southeast Polk defense is always strong, no matter who's replacing who. 3 starters. your thoughts about the Dowling matchup on offense.
I'll reiterate, we got to limit the turnovers to none. How about that? And we've got to be able to convert some of our third downs. That's been one thing I think as the year goes. Sometimes we get behind the chains with maybe a penalty, and we just have not consistently converted those third downs. We do have a huge weapon, to be quite honest, with Jeffrey Roberts, and we can get him the ball. You get Sam Drexler the ball, Ian Middleton. They're going to try to establish a run. This Southeast Polk defense is a good up front. Our line, again, big, young. We're going to see what we can do. But I think to your point, Mark, it's going to be a game of inches out there on some of these plays.
Yeah, and, Coach Wilson likes to take, whatever another team does, likes to take one weapon away. Well, if you take the running game away, which is really tough, that means you're going to put it in the hands of both quarterbacks. And Matt, an inexperienced quarterback going for Southeast Polk, Austin Marr, he doesn't throw it. He's run 6 times for 4 yards, so he doesn't scramble much. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, but he relies on that big offensive line to hand the ball off, and that's going up against the Dowling defense. Can the Maroons' front 4 and linebackers stay with those big dudes up front for Southeast Polk?
You're going to see it's a lot different than last week. That defensive front was just terrorized. Dallas Center Grimes, and the quarterback, every time he dropped back, he was looking at Ryan Bobo. This week, it's about the mass of humanity that is always the Southeast Polk offensive line. I mean, you're going down that line, and I'm looking at 300, 275, 260, 385, 300. It's tough to find a college line that's that big. And, and the size of them and how they coordinate their things, they are very sound. They're very good. You have 2 running backs, Drew Thompson and Stanley Cooper, as you mentioned, Mark, that share the load. Thompson has 63 carries for 311 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Cooper has 45 carries as a junior and 449 yards. So a little more yards per carry for him with 3 touchdowns. And as you said, Austin Marr doesn't throw the ball very much. I mean, he's 15 of 36. So he's below 500 on his pass completions, and Teague Cantrell is his main receiver, 6 catches, 71 yards. And I don't know the last time we talked about a Southeast Polk team where total offense-wise, they have 162 yards in the air after 3 games compared to 794 on the ground. Because they've been able to throw the ball.
Because their previous quarterbacks are playing at the next level.
That's right.
One's backing up the Iowa State quarterback, right?
That makes a difference.
For his team, up there in Ames. So that is all happening. Again, you're listening to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio, which you mentioned both teams have kickers. Samar Arafa, an outstanding kicker for Southeast Polk. And, of course, Ryan Kuhn had a pretty good week last week. Yep. He might be a guy we have to talk about maybe at the end, one of the seniors for Dowling, Brian. But, all right, well, that's it in a nutshell. We'll come back and listen to Coach Wilson, preview tonight's game, but also review last week's game. And, Brian, you're going to head down on a very nice night so far if the rain holds off.
I'm looking at the flags right now. There's not much wind right now on the field, I guess. Up here in the press box, we got a nice breeze. But I don't see that'll be a factor. The rain was supposed to stay away. Hopefully, let's because I did not prepare very well if the rain comes.
We'll find out. Maybe it'll be late.
I'll be underneath the metal. That wouldn't be a very good decision.
You'll make the best decision you can, Brian.
All right.
All right. That is Brian Morris along with Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale. Coming up, we will on the pregame show before Dowling and Southeast Polk here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Week 4, both teams with records of 2-1. The Rams of Southeast Polk rank 6th. They are the 4-time defending champs, taking on 4th-ranked Dowling. And we'll return with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic and talk about tonight's game. As the pregame show continues along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com. 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOIowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Athletics on Southeast Polk tonight here at Valley Stadium. And Coach Wilson, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on the win last week to open up district play over Dallas Center Grimes, and looking forward to tonight's game.
Thank you, Mark.
Well, Coach, last week, let's recap the Dallas Center Grimes win, 27-0. Got off to a slow start, but rallied late, and team you haven't seen, first time ever, kind of history being made out there in Grimes, Iowa. But your thoughts on that game and what you saw, you kind of told us a little bit about it during the game, but as you look at film and broke down film, talk about the Maroons and the win.
I think the biggest thing for us is to develop some consistency as a team. I think we've, seen times where our defense has played very well. They've, I think, given up like 29 points on the year, something like that. And, we have done some things offensively very well, and special teams have been inconsistent. So I think DCG game was probably a prime example of that. Defensively, I thought we played fantastic. And we're put in bad situations several different times, either by our offense or by our special teams, but we answered the bell each time. So, I think that's the big thing for us is you play teams, like a Southeast Polk coming up and others that are on our schedule. You have to be really, really good to be able to beat them, and that's really been the message to our kids, throughout recent weeks and especially this week.
Coach, you mentioned the special teams. You had a punt block, but you also blocked a field goal. And our new guy in football, Maddox Capola, had it, and I think he was waiting for a signal from the bench. Do I run it back? Can I run it back? Should I run it back? That was quite interesting watching Maddox react to that. But also, Ryan Kuhn hitting 2 field goals in this contest, over 40 yards. That's an asset on your special teams part.
Ryan's been great. I'm not going to say he's a pleasant surprise because I expected him to be solid, but I think he's been that and then some. And certainly have a lot of confidence in him. I do think Keith Duncan's done a great job developing him, not only this year but in previous years as well. And still looking forward to him to do very well for us in future games. But yeah, the play you mentioned with Maddox, it was somewhat comical that he, those situations, as I mentioned after the game, we do go over those and pretty important that we know how to react. And he had the convoy in front of him; he just had to follow. And but as you mentioned, the block punt wasn't a schematic thing. We just have to be better there.
This is with head coach Tom Wilson before tonight's game, Dowling at Southeast Polk here at Valley Stadium. Kickoff right at 7 o'clock. And coach, as you break down film, kind of talked about that earlier. Who did you see that maybe we missed in the contest? Obviously, Jeffrey Roberts had a tremendous game offensively, had the big touchdown catch in the first half, danced on the sideline, outran the defenders, and he was a pleasant surprise because he wasn't 100% due to battling an illness. But other than that, what are some of the guys behind the scenes that you saw on film that didn't get the recognition?
I think Evan Mitchell's really starting to play well at right guard for us several times. He's moving people off the ball and finishing, and that's really something that we've emphasized a ton with our offensive line is just finish blocks. And he had several examples of that as well. I think I mentioned post-game Anthony Bonanno. I think he continues to get better. He's relatively inexperienced. He's a senior, but he didn't play a ton for us a year ago. And it was nice to see Jeremiah Robertson get a pick later in that ball game. He's really done a nice job for us, and I think he will continue to get better. And then Jimmy Nahas has a couple of catches, which I think Jeffrey and Sam Drexler get most of the attention, but Jimmy gets himself in there for a couple of catches a game, which is a good thing.
And we saw Henry Smith come in and back up Ian Middleton, give Ian a blow. That was a very warm night last Friday night at Dallas Center. But Henry Smith coming in, besides doing the pooch punting once in a while, he can also run the football.
Really proud of Henry. I'm glad you brought him up. 19 carries for over 100 yards. Number one, I didn't know he carried the ball that many times. And number two, I didn't know he had that many yards until after the game when I saw the stats. But, it was kind of slow moving for him the first couple of weeks. But we were able to get in a rhythm and get Ian out of the ball game and get Henry in the ball game. And, I think history would say I'd like to have more than one guy. And Henry's developing into that. And not only is it good for right now, but it's really good for Henry in the future.
Coach Tom Wilson visiting with me here on the pregame show. It's Dowling and Southeast Polk here at Valley Stadium. This is Mark Hamadale. We'll return with Coach Wilson. Preview tonight's opponent, the Southeast Polk Rams, the 4-time defending champs in Class 5A. And we'll talk more after these messages along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Health powers life. From the delightfully routine to the truly uncharted, at Mercy One, their caring doctors focus on just that, so you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
This is Maroon Nation.
High enough, long enough, and it is good!
Want Dowling Catholic football on demand? Download the Iowa Catholic Radio mobile app and listen to the Maroons anytime, anywhere.
Southeast Polk's last loss, by the way, last year. They won 5 in a row and won the state title. So you take on Brad Zelinovich tonight, and the Rams come in with the same record you have, 2-1, losing to a very fine Iowa City Liberty team in week 2 rather. And that's a team that they had beaten in the semifinals last year, or in the quarterfinals last year. Your thoughts about taking on Southeast Polk? Some new personnel, but they got a big offensive line, and that's kind of helped them with their rushing yards this year.
Oh, they have a massive offensive line. It's that's one of the first things that gets their attention. But Brad Zelinovich, I think, does a fantastic job. I think his recent record certainly proves that, and clearly he's had some really good players. But I think that staff has done a really, really good job, and kudos to them, and the rest of us are trying to get where they've been the last few years. And his team is different than what it's been. I think they still play very solid defensively. They've had a little bit of an injury bug there. I do think that once they get healthy, they'll be even better defensively. And from an offensive standpoint, you mentioned the offensive line. Quarterback, fairly inexperienced. They've got a 1 AA tight end that is a big part of their offense, but they lean on that offensive line, try to run the football. They're going to play 2 different running backs, Thompson, who played against us a year ago, and then Cooper, who's a newcomer that at least we didn't remember from last year, but he went off, I think it was last week, and had a bunch of yards against Norwalk. Runs really hard, good-sized kid. So we're going to have to do a great job tackling him.
And Coach, offensively for Dowling against the very fine Southeast Polk defense, it usually starts with their linebackers, then up front on their defensive line about moving the football. It's both teams have tremendous offensive lines, and it's always been tough to move the ball against Southeast Polk. Nothing different this year, just new pieces in their puzzle, but the linebackers kind of lead the way.
They do. I do. I think they're very solid. Ever since that staff's been together, they kind of play the same style. Most of the time, you're going to see an even front. Occasionally, they're going to go into an odd front. But very aggressive, good tacklers, good cover guys on the outside. They've didn't give up much last week against Norwalk. Liberty, got them a little bit for some yards, both on the ground and through the air. They didn't really give up a ton versus Centennial either. So it kind of comes down to matchups a little bit. And, with them wanting to run the ball, as we've talked about already, and that means there's not a ton of possessions. And so you've got to value the ball and take advantage of the possessions that you get. I could see them possibly double cover Jeffrey Roberts when he's sitting there on the weak side, and that means other guys are probably going to have to make some plays, and we're going to have to be able to run the football. So it's going to take a team game, and offensively we're going to have to execute. We've got to do a better job in our passing game. We haven't been as efficient as we would like, and that would be really important to us.
Visiting with head coach Tom Wilson before tonight's game, Dowling and Southeast Polk here at Valley Stadium. And Coach, you look at the keys to any game, obviously reducing the turnovers, but also causing a few turnovers. Dowling defense has done that for the most part this year, but you're going to make some plays against a very fine Southeast Polk offense that features 2 running backs who just like to run it down the gut, but they also have a couple of tight ends. You mentioned one of them they can throw the ball to. Your thoughts on the keys of the game for Dowling?
Well, we're going to have to be able to hang in there at the line of scrimmage with their offensive line versus our defensive line. Football at some point in time, it's a numbers game, and we're going to have to use numbers to stop their run, and I think they'll take some shots over the top as well. The quarterback to this point, hasn't completed a ton of those, but he's got some athletes out there. Plus, relatively inexperienced quarterback, and, sometimes it takes time. We just want to delay it for another week. So, I think it's going to be a really tough matchup. I think it's going to be a real physical game. That's the style of game that Southeast Polk plays. They've done it for years, and I think it should be a great atmosphere and a great night for a ball game.
Coach Wilson, thanks for joining us here on the pregame show. We'll look forward to talking to you during halftime and during the postgame show. Best of luck to the Maroons.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Head coach Tom Wilson visiting with me here on the pregame show as Dowling taking on Southeast Polk in a top 10 matchup in Class 5A here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Both teams on the field now. Southeast Polk taking the field, and we'll have the coin toss coming up. But first, a word from Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School. We'll also have our pregame prayer. Roman Wilkham is our studio producer. I'm Mark Amadale alongside Matt Mainring, and we'll have Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline tonight with reports throughout the game. You're listening to Dowling Catholic Football in our 49th year of broadcasting here on 105.5 FM KIHS in Des Moines, and we'll be back with the kickoff here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School. Welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School football. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting football, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons.
Hello, my name is Father Reed Flood. Let us pray together for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition this evening. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask that you bless all those involved in this athletic competition this evening. We ask that you keep them safe and that they show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Saint Sebastian, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Iowa Catholic Radio is 105.5 KIHS, Perry, Des Moines, 89.3 KDVM, Mason City, and 89.9 KCSL, Spencer, Spirit Lake, or anywhere on the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
All right, welcome back. Valley Stadium in West Des Moines as we get set for kickoff. The coin toss just happened. Mark Amadale, Matt Mainring, Brian Morris on Iowa Catholic Radio, and we are going to be synced up with CISN momentarily. But Mr. Mainring, we got a decent night. The weather has held as far as the raindrops, but mid-70s temperature. Not an overflow cloud like we saw a few weeks ago in the Dowling Valley game or in the Dowling-Johnson game, but a great crowd to watch two top 10 teams in Class 5A. A couple powerhouses. Dowling winning 7 in a row back in the mid-2000 to 2010, and Southeast Polk, the 4-time defending champs in 5A, going at each other.
Yeah, between these two teams, you got a lot of state titles in the last 15 years. So 15, 20 years. And so this is a fun night, and these are two great teams, and every time they've battled in the last 8-9 years, it has been a dogfight that comes down to the last play. It's going to come down to a couple turnovers and things like that. And more so this year, it's about number of possessions in the half. And it's going to be a possession ball game tonight.
Well, Dowling will receive as Southeast Polk will kick off. Dowling will go left to right and north to south. Let's go down to our first sideline report, sponsored by the Jenny Farrell team. The Jenny Farrell team, Remax Concepts, have been helping generations of Dowling Catholic families with their real estate investments for almost 30 years. You can learn more at jenniferfarrell.remax.com. Brian Morris, give us a sideline report.
Yeah, guys, Southeast Polk won the toss. Again, they deferred. Dowling's taking the ball with the slight wind, and there's not a lot of wind down here today. Beautiful night for football. The clouds are coming in a little bit, but it looks like hopefully the stay away.
All right, well, we will find the Rams kicking off. That will be Samar Arafa, and he's made 2 back in the end zone. This one won't reach. It'll be returned by Dowling at the 5-yard line. Across the 20 and across the 25 goes Sam Drexler on the return for the Maroons. And they'll have pretty good field position with the Dowling offense out there first, Matt Mainring, from their own 26-yard line.
And I look at this game as it's one of those games, even though Joey Nejas had a lot of, he played a lot last year. This year, this is a game where we're going to see some maturity, I think, and his growth arc will come out tonight, I think, as this is a big game and a big matchup that sets the table for the rest of the year.
All right, Dowling a first down at their own 26-yard line. You mentioned Joey Nejas, the Dowling quarterback. Pistol formation. Here's the snap, handoff left side, and that is Ian Middleton, and he crashes through, and he's near a first down. Dropped at the 35-yard line. He'll pick up 9. It'll bring up 2nd and 1 as he blasts it over to the left side of the offensive line, led by Carter Barrett and Josh Miller for Dowling.
Yeah, they slammed it down there as Ian Middleton gave it one step to the right, cut back to the left, and Barrett and Miller collapsed it down and gave Middleton the crease, and he shot into the secondary.
All right, 2nd and 1 for the Maroons. They'll line up 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, as we're joined now by CISN. Handoff Middleton, first down, breaks a tackle, and across the 40 up near the 41-yard line to pick up a 6, but a Dowling first down. They're running that left side. The center is Cade Krause for Dowling. Evan Mitchell and Max Thomas are the right guard and right tackle, respectively. Jeffrey Roberts, Jimmy Nejas, Quinn Smolbach, the wide receivers for the Maroons. We'll see Preston Hoffbauer, Owen McConville, and the other tight ends, Leighton Oldfield and Sam Sprackland, get in the Dowling offense. Now on 1st and 10, here's a pass swung out wide as Drexler. He's down the near sideline. It's going to be a foot race to the end zone. Down the near sideline. Touchdown, Sam Drexler, 65 yards. On a first down play from the Dowling 35, Matt.
He got 1-on-1 out there with coverage, and there was a great block out there by the other receiver, and created a crease for Sam to run through, and touchdown. There wasn't anything close to him as he got through that initial wave, and what a great play to start the game for the Maroons.
Well, Owen McConville in to hold. Jack McLaughlin with the snap, and Ryan Kuhn for the extra point. Dowling leading 6-0, and now here's the point after, and it's up and good. So Dowling leads it 7-0. 10:49 to go, first quarter. Dowling over Southeast Polk. We'll be back with the kickoff in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Faith Check with Greg Ewell on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
On this Faith Check, let's look at how reliable the Catholic Church's oral tradition is. In the modern world, oral means of communication are deemed inherently unreliable. We've all played the game of telephone, where a phrase is whispered around a circle and it comes out nothing like the original. The scholars have shown that in the ancient world, and to this day in some places, oral traditions were memorized and passed down to multiple generations without alteration. When the apostles went out to teach the faith orally, they did not whisper it in secret like the telephone game, but proclaimed it publicly to the multitudes. Oral tradition was a normal means of passing on the faith, as St. Paul says in 2 Timothy 2:2, "What you have heard from me before many witnesses, entrust to faithful men, Timothy, who will be able to teach others also." There's no evidence that a widespread change of belief took place among the early Christians. Quite the opposite. At the end of the 2nd century, St. Irenaeus wrote that while the church has spread over the entire known world, the faith has been maintained intact everywhere, something only attributable to the Holy Spirit. This is Greg Ewell for Faith Check.
We're back here at Valley Stadium. Here is the kickoff, and Theresa returns it for the Rams, and he gets across the 30, and that's where the Southeast Polk offense will start 1st and 10. As Dowling scores on his first possession, the Maroons lead at 7-0 on a 65-yard touchdown pass from Joey Nahas to Sam Drexler. Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell sideline report. Brian Morris, come on in.
Yeah, Quinn Schulbach, guys, number 7, he gave the block. Some of those unsung things that Coach talked about, some of the players, he made the block that really sprang Sam Drexler, and after that, there was nobody on the sideline that was going to catch Sam.
Dowling 3 plays, 74 yards on the drive. And now here's the Southeast Polk offense. Back to throw is quarterback Austin Martin. A pass is picked off at the 35. Dowling on the return. They get it inside the 20, but a pick to start the first possession by Jeremiah Robertson.
What a way to start the game for the Maroons. You can see a little ball fake, and they were trying to go out to Cantrell, but then they decided to go deep. And Robertson was sitting underneath, and just sitting there. And there were 2 Maroon jerseys, and Austin Mark threw it right to him and underthrew the football. Big play, and now the Maroons are right back with the ball after scoring on 3 plays previously. So we're 4 plays in. We've got a touchdown and an interception.
So 1st and 10, Dowling from the Southeast Polk 19-yard line. Dowling offense back on the field. And Joey Nahas has 3 receivers to the left. Play action fake. Over the middle, the pass is thrown right behind the receiver, incomplete. Had it in his hands, did Jeffrey Roberts, but he couldn't hang on to it. Slightly behind him on a quick post route or slant route Matt from the right side.
That's exactly right. And you know what you're seeing right now is they were selling out on the run. Ian Milton came in and had big runs early, and all of a sudden they're locking up man-to-man on the receivers with one over the top. And they got a lot of one-on-one plays, and they got a lot of good receivers.
And now pass over to the near side, and that is Drexler with the reception at the 10-yard line, so he'll pick up 9. He'll be shy of the first down. He'll bring up 3rd and short for the Maroons. As Dowling now in the Iowa Wealth Management red zone. Iowa Wealth Management, a fee-only investment advisory firm, helping clients grow and protect their wealth. Learn more at iowawealth.com.
A quick play out to Sam Drexler again, and he gets out there and squirts for 9 yards down the sideline. The Maroons are going a little tempo. Now they check back into the backfield, get the play, and all eyes become on Ian Middleton right here.
Yeah, 3rd and short for the Maroons. They're on the right hash, going left to right, handoff Middleton. He's got the first down and more. Tackled inside the 5. They'll spot him down at the 4. A 6-yard gain. It's goal to goal for Dowling. 1st and goal at the Southeast Polk 4 for the Maroons.
You talk about a statement. Everybody in the stadium knows where the ball is going. And Cade Krause, Josh Miller, and Evan Mitchell, the 2 guards in the center, just made a pathway for Ian to run in and get the first down easily for the Maroons.
And now a handoff. Play action fake, and they throw it a quick slant to the left side, pass incomplete, and again, that was Roberts who couldn't hang on to it. Low throw by Nahas. It'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 4 as they went play action, faked it to Middleton, and tried to throw to Jeffrey Roberts.
Yeah, Jeffrey Roberts came wide open, and Nahas threw it a little bit low, which I think is what you want to do in that situation because you don't want it to bounce high and get tipped up in the air. He put it where only Roberts could get it.
Handoff goes to Middleton, and he crashes in. Touchdown, Ian Middleton. Boy, they love that A-gap, don't they, Matt? Touchdown, Maroons, and Dowling up 13-0 with 10 minutes remaining here in the first quarter.
Against that 4-man front, they're able to seal it off and get Cade to that next level and get ahead of the linebacker, and Middleton's 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage before anyone touches him, and then runs over the safety on his way into the end zone.
So Dowling takes advantage of a Southeast Polk turnover as the Maroons go 5 plays and 19 yards. Kuhn's extra point is up and good. And Dowling leading 14-0 over Southeast Polk. 10 minutes remaining. First quarter, we'll take a break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOIowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com, 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more. Building a relationship with a primary care doctor is one of the easiest ways to stay healthy. Schedule your annual checkup with a Mercy One doctor so you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
All right, we're back here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Dowling's won a total of 7 plays and has 14 points to show. And here is a kickoff by the Maroons. And the Rams now will start inside their 30-yard line after the ball is picked up. But let's go down to our Jennifer Farrell sideline report, sponsored by Jennifer Farrell team at Remax Concepts, jenniferfarrell.remax.com. Brian Morris, 7 plays and 14 points for the Dowling offense, just what you drew up.
Yeah, you can't beat that start, guys. Again, one of the things Dowling came out with this game that I don't think we've seen a lot of is they put Quinn Scullenbreck almost as an H-back or almost as a fullback back there, and we haven't seen that all year, so that's giving a little bit more blocking for Ian Middleton for some of those holes. Yeah, good point. You bring that extra, as Coach Wilson calls, a guard back there to help. And now on first down, Marr with the handoff, and he goes to one of his 2 tailbacks, who I think will be up near 1,000 yards. And this one is Drew Thompson, who's carried already for 3 touchdowns and 300 yards in just 3 games. And he gets a couple up to the 23-yard line there, Matt.
Yeah, Max Capola with the stop up the middle, and you only get a few yards, but they rotate him out right away and run Stanley Cooper into that backfield as they rotate these backs. Try to spread the defense out here a little bit. That first set, they had a tight formation, line tight ends in, and definite run formation.
It's 2nd and 7 for Southeast Polk. Mark back to throw. Can't find a receiver. Now he's going to get hit and drop back inside the 25. They'll give him forward progress to the 22. He'll lose a yard, and they'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
And that time, and he really grew last week. I thought Anthony Bonanno had a great game, and right there, he won't get credit for that sack, but he forced Mark to stand up, to move up into the pocket. He forced the issue, and the rest of the defense was there.
All right, so 3rd and 7 now for Southeast Polk as they're back at their own 23-yard line. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. The Rams in their visiting road uniforms, black pants, black helmets, and white jerseys with black stripes. And now a handoff goes to the tailback, and he gets back up to the 25-yard line, and that being Drew Thompson, who's back in there. Again, they'll interchange Drew Thompson and Stanley Cooper. One's number 2, one's number 24. And it'll bring up 4th and 5 for the Rams.
And we always talk about, what do you want your defensive line to do? You want your defensive line to keep your linebackers clean. And what I mean is you want to make sure the offensive line isn't getting blocks on your linebackers so they can run free to the football. And right there, Carlos Blount was able to run free and stuck Thompson right as he crossed the line of scrimmage.
All right. Dallas Lane in the punt, gets it away. The big lineman wearing number 90. And Drexler back inside his 35. Now on the return right. And Sam runs into one defender, slips him at the 40, and is finally tripped up. And right at the 42-yard line, nice tackle in the open field by the Rams. And that may have saved a big gain. That was Jaden Perry on the stop.
Yeah, it was a big play because as Sam turned that corner right there, he evaded the first tackler and got to that next level. There was a blocker out in front of him, and there was a lot of yardage ahead.
Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell sideline report. Here is Brian Morris. Brian, come on in. The Dowling defense stepping up.
They really are. And Southeast Polk's really trying to focus in on Teague Cantrell, their number 9 tight end. He's 6'5", 235. But Dowling's done a good job of blanketing him, guys.
All right. That is our leading receiver. He's caught 2 of the Rams' 3 touchdown passes this year on offense. And now Joey Nahas with the fake. And now he's going to carry out his fake and keep the football up to midfield. So he'll get 8 yards. as the play developed. He looked left, and I don't think the receiver was open, Matt, and then he checked down and decided to run with it.
Great decision on his part there for Joey, because he looked out to his left, and the coverage was good. And that's one of those plays where it was more of a 3-step drop. He was going to let her rip, and then he looked to the right, open field, takes off, safe play, 5 yards. 6 yards.
2nd down and 4 for Dowling at midfield. Maroons lead it 14-0 over Southeast Polk in a top 10 matchup. The Rams come in ranked 6th this week. Dowling 4th in Class 5A. Handoff Middleton. This time he tries the right side, right guard, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. So the Rams defense steps up there, and no gain for Middleton.
No, and they got a little bit of a wedge there. That time Middleton snuck up behind Evan Mitchell and Max Thomas, and they slid Schmalbach down inside as an extra blocker again as a tight end, more of a tight end, and got a few yards, made it 3rd and short.
Dowling going with 2 tight ends and 2 receivers to the left. They'll do a check with me as they'll run out of the pistol formation. As Brian mentioned, Schmalbach, number 7, is the Dowling fullback in this set. He'll also line up as tight end. 3rd and 2 Maroons from midfield. Dowling going left to right on a 75-degree night here in week 4. Handoff Middleton right up the gut. He stood up and then he's dropped. Nice job by the interior line of Southeast Polk, led by Reese Winery, along with Joel Thompson, Anthony Davis, and Thomas Dixon. They did the initial stop, and then the linebackers Oberbrockling and Billadu came in.
Yeah, this is a tough decision for Coach Wilson, because right now your offense has been rolling. You really want to go for it on 4th down here, but cooler heads prevail, and you're going to throw the punt team out there up 14-0 early in this ball game.
So Henry Smid will come in. Of course, Henry had over 100 yards rushing last week, and he and Ian Middleton shared the ball over at Dallas Center Grimes in Dowling's 27-0 victory last Friday night. And Schmidt will come in to punt. And back deep for Southeast Polk is Freddie Theresa. And now we got a stoppage right now with 6:09 to go here in the second quarter.
Did we call timeout?
No, it was procedure by us, delay a game.
Oh, delay a game.
Delay a game, Dowling. So now the Rams will put in twin safeties back deep for Southeast Polk. Will be Brennan Swanson, number 14. They'll stand right at their 20-yard line, awaiting the kick by Henry Smid. And also back deep for the Rams is Freddie Theresa. And here's the punt by Smid, and it's a good punt. Fair catch signal for by the Rams, and they do right at Brennan Swanson inside the 15-yard line, and that's where the Southeast Polk offense will take over. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. Dowling leading 14-0 over Southeast Polk. Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell team Remax Concept sideline report. Brian Morris, come on in.
You can tell Coach Wilson was really thinking through that. But again, I think with a 14-point lead, you just kind of play the field position game right here, because if you give the ball to Southeast Polk on the 50, you put them back, you pin them back, they're on their 15-yard line. It's a good decision.
Yeah, and look where Smid landed that punt, Matt. The Rams inside at the 10 at the 8-yard line.
And that's the best punt. I missed a game, but that's the best punt we've seen this year, I think. And, it's been one of the areas that Dowling has not done very well at is the punting game. And right there, Smid boomed one.
All right, Austin Mart at quarterback and gets the snap out of the shotgun, hands it off to the second back through. And I think that's Cooper in there. See if that's 24 that gets up. They'll interchange their backs, will Southeast Polk, Drew Thompson and Stanley Cooper. And they'll bring up 2nd down and 9 as they'll give him a gain of 1.
Leo Pagano gets on the bottom of that pile and makes the stop there on Peterson, and it was or Thompson, a great stop there by the defense. And the defense is really playing stout right now. And when you can come up and the quarterback's struggling throwing the football, you can plug it up in the middle in a hurry.
Well, the Rams just did a check with me with Coach Selinovich, and they've changed the play here. They'll move their tight end to an H-back, 2nd and 9, and they give it to the tailback, and he almost got it stolen away, and he falls right on at the 5-yard line. Loss of 4 for the Rams, and the Maroons brought the house, Matt.
They did, and I don't know if we mentioned Ryan Bobo much last week.
A little bit.
But anyway, he was in the backfield, almost got the handoff again, coming off the right edge of the defense into the backfield and sealed it down on whichever running back was in there on that last play. It was Thompson, and he had no chance whatsoever.
Loss of 3. It'll bring up 3rd and 12, Southeast Polk from their own 6-yard line. And now they hand it off to the tailback, and that's Stanley Cooper. He's the quicker of the backs, and he gets up across the 10 to the 11-yard line. So he'll get 5 of those yards back, but it'll bring up 4th down and long for Southeast Polk deep in their own territory.
Right now for the defense, Southeast Polk has had 3 possessions. They've ran 7 plays. They've been 3 and out both times, and then the interception on the first series. You can't ask for much more than that. And now where Dowling punted from, Sam Drexler standing inside of that where Dowling can get the ball back.
Yeah, Ryan Bobo, Brady Hagan, Miles Elcock, and Anthony Bonanno up front for the Dowling defense. Jackson Miller, Carlos Blunt, and Leo Pagano, and Joel Sanko, the linebackers. The punt drives Sanko back to his own 45. Now gets a block at the 50, still on his feet, 40, at the 30, looking for room at the 20. He's got one man to meet, down the near sideline, touchdown! Sam Drexler from 55 yards.
What was crazy about that play as you watch that is Dowling had the block on. They had everybody going, and you see this sea of white coming down at Sam Drexler, and there was no contain on it. And he just got through the first level, and there was nobody home.
Look at that on the CISN replay. He had a host of blockers out in front of him. The last guy to beat was Riley Current, and he did. And now Dowling for the extra point, leading 20-0 with 3:47 to go first quarter. Now the extra point by Ryan Cood, and it is up and good. 21-0 Dowling. We'll take a 1-minute break and return with the kickoff and our sideline report from Brian Morris when we return here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.
Thought of the day with Monsignor Frank Bagnano.
I enjoy the great sayings of G.K. Chesterton, the English writer of the last century. He wrote, "There are 2 ways to get enough. One is to continue to accumulate more and more. The other is to desire less." Actually, Buddha taught the same thing. Desire nothing and you'll be happy. Desire is a very good thing if we desire good, valuable, permanent things like family, loyal friendships, friendship with God, growth in charity, faith, inner peace. Try to desire these types of things. They're not going to pass away. Desire to pray. Work for the good things that give deep satisfaction now and that endure forever. Choose to focus on those good desires of life. And that is today's thought of the day.
Here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, Dowling 21, Southeast Polk nothing. Mark Emmedill alongside Matt Mandring and Brian Morris as the kickoff goes in the end zone, so there'll be no return. Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell's Remax sideline report with Brian Morris. Brian, come on in.
Yeah, Matt, you took the words right out of my mouth. As Dowling brought that punt kick, or the punt team, and they were trying to go for the block, and then when Sam Drexler fielded that ball, he had like 3 Southeast Polk defenders on him, but they over-pursued him, and then he made one cut, and then he just had to beat the punter, and that was not going to be a fair race, guys.
Yeah, good point there, Brian, but everything was perfect, and Drexler, credit him, he backed up to get the punt, returned it 55 yards unofficially, and found just the one seam that he had.
Yeah, and then snuck it down the sideline, and here the defense is back on the field.
All right, here is Southeast Polk with the football, trying to get their running game established, and they keep it on the ground. And let's see if it was either Thompson or Cooper back there. Cooper's the faster back. He also has 3 touchdowns. Thompson's rushed for 300 yards on the year. Cooper's rushed for 450 yards on the year. Cooper's a junior and Thompson's a senior, and they interchange him. And it looks like Cooper's in there, and that was a gain of 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Rams.
Leo Pagano on the stop for the Maroons again as he got him beyond the line of scrimmage, and short gain. Well, ball's on the ground.
And the ball's loose. And let's see who got it. No signal yet.
Maroons.
And officials say Dowling football. And Brian, here you go. Who's on the bottom of this pile? Because the handoff to Thompson from Marr was fumbled.
That was
and I think
Blount?
that was
Carlos Blunt.
Yep.
It was Blunt.
So it was Blunt.
So we've got Robertson with an interception and Blunt with a fumble recovery.
We got a little bit of everything in this game. We got a punt return.
Yeah.
An interception, a fumble recovery.
And Brian, didn't you say last week that Blunt thought he got the block field goal?
He
took credit for that,
And don't forget, we had the punt return that was taken to the house.
Yeah.
To the house.
You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah.
Brian, in those post-game interviews, you remember some of those lines. 1st and 10, Dowling at the Southeast Polk 21 after the second turnover by the Rams. They handed off to Middleton left side looking for a hole, zigs and zags, and finally stood up right at the 19-yard line. They may give him one, maybe two. And let's see, Jay Flores standing right on the 19. So a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8 there, Matt.
Yeah, that time they tried to go out off tackle a little bit with their zone read, and Middleton was kind of picking his way, letting the blocks develop, and Southeast Polk pursued over the top. And again, they're bringing 8 guys in the box. Right here, we got about 7 right now, and man-to-man, we got trips out here on the right.
You got a receiver to the left, that's Schmolbach at the top of your screen. He goes in motion and lines up as a tight end. 3 receivers to the right at the bottom of your screen. Dowling left to right, fake hand off to Middleton. The pass is over to Drexler, and he reaches for it at the 16-yard line. So he'll gain 3, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, Nahas threw a rifle shot right there, and it was everything Sam could do to get that ball before it hit the ground, and he did. It was great hands on his part. But again, in high school football, as soon as that knee is on the ground, you can't get up and run, so the ball's dead right there.
3rd and 6, Dowling. The Maroons will have a 3-receiver set to the left of the formation. 2 to the right, empty backfield. Nahas back to throw, looks right, lobs into the end zone's got a man open. That's Robertson. It's broken up, incomplete. Great job by the Southeast Polk defense as they came crashing in there and knocking it away. And that was number 26 for the Rams right there, Zach Lockman, who broke it up.
Yeah, Roberts, he had a shot right there. The ball was a little bit behind him, but he's throwing, Nahas is throwing it to the corner of the end zone, threw it in a really good spot, and gave Roberts a chance. My guy can beat your guy, and he almost got it, but the ball was knocked away by the Rams defender.
All right, Ryan Kuhn, a 34-yard field goal from the right hash. Ball down by Owen McConville, and the kick is up and good. So the Maroons extend their lead to 24-0 over Southeast Polk, taking advantage of Carlos Blunt fumble recovery, and Dowling leads at 24-0 over Southeast Polk with 1:39 to go in the first quarter. You're listening to Dowling Catholic Football on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
The radio home for your Dowling Catholic Maroons. 105.5 KIHS, Perry, Des Moines. IowaCatholicRadio.com and the Iowa Catholic Radio mobile app. Encounter Jesus.
The on-air portion of the Iowa Catholic Radio Fall Fundraiser starts Tuesday, September 30th. Our theme is Hope with Frequency. Be sure to tune in for stories of hope from right here in our listening area as we seek to be fully funded for the remainder of this Jubilee Year of Hope. But you don't have to wait to pledge. Call 515-223-1150 or donate now at iowacatholicradio.com. Your gift will be matched dollar for dollar. And thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Back here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, the kickoff by Dowling, return to the 25-yard line by Southeast Polk. The Rams will have it there, trailing 24-0. Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell sideline report. Brian Morris is on the Dowling sideline. The Farrell team at Remax Concepts. Brian?
Yeah, the Dowling kickoff, again, we said this last week. They kicked it deep. They got it in the end zone tonight. They kind of do a squib. That one they kind of punted, but kind of put it in the air to the left side. And again, the one thing that being down on the field, kickoffs, I know why the NFL kind of outlawed them, because there is a lot of hits that happen on kickoffs.
Yeah, there is.
A lot of contact is what.
Very much so.
Yeah, it's a high energy space.
All right, handoff Southeast Polk, and they get it to their tailback, and that is Drew Thompson back in there. He goes from his own 31 up to across the 35 to the 36-yard line. The Rams have not gotten a first down tonight, Matt.
No, and right there he ran hard. I'm sure Coach Zelenovich is going to these guys, you've got to play harder than this, and offensively we can do better than this. And right there, that was a nice hard run into the left side off tackle for Thompson and some positive yards.
All right, 2nd and 5, Southeast Polk. Put a man in motion left to right to give it to Thompson again. He's tripped up as he crossed the 35 and bowls his way forward and maybe to the 37 for a pickup of 1. It'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Off the back side right there came Joel Sanko on a corner off his outside linebacker position, squeezing that play down, trips him up a little bit, slows him down, and he still did a good job of getting into the line of scrimmage, and then it was Pagano and Blount for the finishing it off.
So they'll spot forward progress up to the 39-yard line, so it's 3rd down and 2 for the Rams. And, of course, the Dowling defense, we mentioned the defensive line and linebackers, Jordan Watson, Jeremiah Robertson, the 2 corners, and Maddox Capola, the free safety, round out the Dowling defense. And now here's Marr, and the handoff goes to his tailback, and he is struggling to get up the first down. I think he got a good spot. They spot it right at the 41.
Yeah, it depends on which official we follow here.
And if he did, he needed to get to the 41.
Well.
And they're going to move the chains.
They're going to move the. All of a sudden, you got a little.
Yep, they are.
Yeah, they're going to move them.
First down, Southeast Polk, the first one of the night at the 41-yard line with
as time expires.
The final play of the first quarter. We've come to the end of the first quarter here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Dowling 24, Southeast Polk nothing. Alongside Matt Maindring, I'm Mark Amadale. Brian Morris is our sideline reporter, and we'll be back with the second quarter in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. Have you ever heard someone say, I accept some of the things the church teaches, but I could never embrace the entire creed because there are some things in it that I just don't have any use for? G.K. Chesterton says, you might as well say that there's a great many things in the Encyclopedia Britannica that you don't have any use for. The church, like the Encyclopedia, is meant for everybody, and not just for you. It is meant for everybody, which just happens to include you. The Catholic Church is a combination of things that are nevertheless one thing. We cannot accept only part of it without rejecting all of it. Want more than a minute? Visit our website at www.chesterton.org.
And welcome back to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Week 4 of the Iowa high school football season. Dowling leading 24-0 in this top 10 matchup in Class 5A. As the teams switch around, the Rams will be going left to right, wearing their visiting white uniforms with black pants. Dowling in their home maroon uniforms with white pants. And on first down, the give is to Drew Thompson. Right up the gut he goes, and he's up near midfield. They're going to spot him down right at the 48-yard line, so a gain of 7. And all of a sudden, the Southeast Polk offensive line, those 2- and 3-yard gains are now going for 6 and 7.
Yeah,
Matt.
you know, this becomes a pride thing. You're down 24-0 after one quarter. And in that first quarter, Dowling had a punt return for a touchdown, an interception that turned into 7 points. You have a field goal, Dowling had everything in the first quarter they could have wanted. And now for Southeast Polk, they're just trying to have some positives.
So 2nd and 2 from the Southeast Polk 49-yard line. And now Coach Austin Marr will do a check with me. And now it turns into a timeout. So we're going to keep it here. Alongside Matt Maindring, I'm Mark Amadale. Glad you could join us tonight. Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline. Let's introduce our CISN crew tonight behind the scenes. Aaron Bandy is our press box producer as we coordinate with him, and Roman Wilcom, our Iowa Catholic radio producer. And he has 3 young ladies out there doing the cameras, Mary and Bailey, along with Megan Stevens. They're up here, and Sam Nord is down with Brian. Let's go down to Brian Morris on the Dowling Catholic sideline with our Jenny Farrell sideline report. And I haven't seen the camera on you too much tonight, Brian, but that's okay. You dressed up.
Yeah, that's okay, Mark. I've got a face for radio. But the Southeast Polk team, we talked about this in pregame, guys. They started this year a lot of games so far against Norwalk, against Iowa City Liberty, very slowly. Mm-hmm. So it's some pattern of something that's going on with their coming out to a game and not being up. But when it's happened 3 times in 4 games, there's something there.
All right, out of the timeout, it's Southeast Polk with a 2nd and 2 from their own 49. They'll flip-flop the tight ends to the left side, that being Aiden Jones and Teague Cantrell. And then a little handoff on the left side. First down and more as they get down inside the 45 of Dowling. So that's the first time the Rams have been in Dowling territory, and they're just doing it on the ground. They're not going to put the ball in the air too much.
No, you see, in that play right there, Southeast Polk shifted the tight end and their H-back, number 43, over to the left side, and they had them outnumbered, and then just ran behind them for that big gain.
All right, Marr out of the shotgun, and he'll give it to his tailback, and that's Stanley Cooper in there. And he finds a little running room, scampers forward down near the 47-yard line. Or 37-yard line of Dowling, pick up a 4.
Yeah, Stanley Cooper's got some quicks. He hits that line of scrimmage in a hurry. Carlos Blount came from the outside right there and just about cut him down, but he got into the linebackers at about 5 yards, 6 yards deep, and a nice gain there for him on first down.
Rams with 2 receivers left, one to the right. Marr at quarterback. Austin with the handoff. He'll give it to Cooper again, and he's hit in the backfield and then dropped. And they're going to lose yardage back to the 38-yard line, loss of 1. And the maroon shirts caught up with that play as they really had some deep penetration there.
They did. Yeah, great point, Mark. Joel Sankel came off the backside on that one, and you know, it's a defensive call. He's coming off the backside hard. He's slamming down from the backside. He chased it down and grabbed his feet, and no gain, or for a loss.
Yeah, loss of 1, so it brings up 3rd and 7 for the Rams as they got Cooper in there at tailback, number 24. Now they do a check with me with the Southeast Polk sideline, led by head coach Brad Zelenovich and his offensive coaches, Jason Nolting, Rich Beatty, Luke Vandersanen, and John Cochran.
And I didn't see what the motion was there, but it must have been encroachment of some sort. But
yeah, it was
pre-snap.
It was encroachment on us, guys.
Offside Dowling,
yeah,
okay.
The hard snap got one of our linemen.
So it's a 5-yard penalty, and then they'll move the ball down to the 33-yard line. Brings up 3rd and 2 for the Rams. 2 receivers to the right, 1 tight end to the left. And the handoff goes to Cooper, and he bowls his way for a first down inside the Dowling 30 and pushes his way all the way to the 25-yard line, which is what we expected tonight out of Southeast Polk with their big offensive line to grind it out, and they did.
Yeah, now you see that offensive line gaining some momentum right now, and they are moving that defensive front of Dowling Catholic at will right now.
So first down Rams at the Dowling 25. Cooper picked up 8 yards there. Up front for the Rams, they have Noah White, Braden Steyer, Gunnar Lee, Nate Slay, and Cale Roberts. Slay, number 77, the right guard, one of the captains. All right, Marr out of the shotgun. He'll give to his tailback, and that is Cooper once again, and tries to slip out of a tackle and finally wrestled down at the 22 of Dowling. He'll pick up 3.
The initial hit was made by Pagano in the hole, and he kept his feet churning. Cooper did, and was able to spin out of it, but the rest of the defense rallied there and sealed him up and contained the gain there to just a 3-yard gain on first down.
So it's 2nd and 7, Southeast Polk. They'll send 2 receivers to the right, and both their tight ends are on the right, and now they'll move Aiden Jones to the left side. Austin Marr at quarterback, and in the backfield is Stanley Cooper. He gets the handoff, and he wants to run over left side, and he's hit and stood up. This will bring up 3rd and long. This is something Southeast Polk has had problems with, 3rd and long in this game. Last time they got the penalty against Dowling, which made it 3rd and short, so we'll see what happens here.
How many passes have they attempted, Mark? Is it just the 2
the interception? Yeah, that's it. Just the interception. Robertson's interception on the second pass of the game, and they have not.
Yeah, and right now you put Southeast Polk in these 3rd and long situations. This is not where they want to play this year.
Cooper loses 2 yards on that last play, so it's 3rd and 9 for Southeast Polk. Marr back to throw, fires the ball downfield, and on a crossing route, pass incomplete. Tried to hit T. Cantrell as Kyle Schumacher was right there as the pass is broken up.
Yeah, Kyle Schumacher was all over that, read that play right at the start, and was able to get a hand in there and break it up right away. Great play by him.
All right, let's go down to our Jenny Farrell sideline report. JennyFarrell.remax.com. And Brian, will the Rams go for it or kick the field goal?
I think they're going for it, guys. I mean, they're down 24.
Yeah.
They got to try and do something. But that's Stanley Cooper, the running back, 6 foot 220. He has some size down here. He's got some yards on his own for sure in this drive.
All right, the Rams going for it, as Brian mentioned. 4th and 9, Southeast Polk. Marr back to throw, now wants to run. He's going to be hit and drop. Bobo got him just as he got to the line of scrimmage, and the Maroons will take over on downs as the Rams cannot find anybody open downfield, and Marr ended up running for about a yard.
Yeah, so it won't count as a sack. You know, the defense is in coverage and safe in a safe coverage, and now it's the speed of the defensive line against that big offensive front, and advantage Maroons there, and Ryan Bobo squeezed it down and makes a play.
Yeah, 3rd and long was the end doing for Southeast Polk. They couldn't get anyone open, and their tight end Tantrell was well covered the play before. So now Dowling will change tailbacks. In for the Maroons at tailback is number 23 this time, and that's Grayson Pennington. Here's a snap by Nahas. Pennington with the handoff. Right up the gut he goes, and he gets across the 25 up near the 28, maybe the 29-yard line as Dowling starts from their own 23-yard line.
Yeah, Pennington, 5'11", 175. He's got a quick little burst when he hits that line of scrimmage, and now the Maroons go tempo.
And off again to Pennington. Slips a tackle, and he's up near a first down. He's across to the 30, and he'll stop play right around the 33 or 34-yard line. So Grayson didn't play last week. He and Henry Smith are both sophomores, and this week Pennington's back as a backup to Ian Middleton.
And right there, the defense wasn't even set yet, and the Maroons were already down, had a play called, and were going before the defense had shifted into what their play call was, and advantage to the Maroons.
1st and 10, Dowling from their own 34-yard line. Joey Nahas out of the pistol formation, handoff Pennington. Grayson right over the A-gap, and now he's going to be drugged backwards. They'll spot forward progress across the 35, near the 36 for a gain of 2.
Yeah, this is a tough defense to dance into. Those, the young men up front for Southeast Polk, that front line of Winry and at 6'7", 2 1/4, Joel Thompson at 6'1", 235, Davis at 6', 250, and Dixon at 6'3", 200. That's a big front, and you got to hit when the crease is there, as Middleton was doing in the first quarter.
2nd down, 8, Dowling from their own 36. Dowling 24, Southeast Polk nothing. 6 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Maindring. Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline. Here's the snap by Dowling, and the handoff again goes to Grayson Pennington. This time he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage and falls forward to the line of scrimmage at the 36, so no gain on the play to bring up 3rd and long for Dowling.
Owen Oberbrockling, the junior, the 6'4" junior for the Rams, stepped into the gap there and didn't give Pennington any room to run there at all. So a big play here for Nahas as you got Middleton back in the football game, and now you're starting to see what this offense can do through the air.
Well, the Maroons have spread everybody out. 2 receivers to the right, the top of your screen, 1 to the bottom. Back to throw Nahas with Middleton back to block. Fires the ball out. Pass is caught by Drexler. First down, Dowling at midfield. It was a catch and carry after that, and Sammy did a nice job on his route there.
He did. And it's one of those, they're giving him coverage because Sam's already burned him twice, once on a punt return and once on a pass. And so the coverage was a little soft, and that was running it to the sticks. He ran the pattern 3 yards beyond the stick, came back to it, and Nahas put it right between, or I was going to say right between the numbers. He's only got one number on. He put it right on it.
Sammy wears number 1. 1st and 10, Dowling at midfield. Nahas hands off to Middleton. Ian looking for a hold. Now slips out of a tackle and spun around and finally falls forward down to the 47. Gain of 3 to bring up 2nd and 7 for Dowling.
Southeast Polk, Pennington had some nice runs his first 2 carries, and since then the Rams have come up and stopped that run, and they're getting a little aggressive inside here, and this is where play action starts to come in.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Fast Signs in Clive, Skeffington's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization, our thanks to Construction Professionals, Ashworth Vision Clinic, and Bose and the Florists. And now quick pass over on the far sideline, caught by Drexler, shy of the first down. He's brought down at the 42-yard line, so he'll gain 5.
Gain 5 and make it, a 3rd and 3 or a 3rd and 2, and it gives you, offensively, you're thinking this is 4 down territory, and so you got 2 to get to here. wouldn't be surprised to take a little shot right here.
Might take a shot, but you also like that clock running. And
yeah,
timeout situation. Southeast Polk has 2 timeouts remaining going into the half. Dowling has all 3. All right, Nahas with 3 receivers left, 1 to the right, and gives it to Middleton. Right up the gut he goes, dragging tacklers and struggles to get to the, I'm going to give him right at the 39-yard line, gain of 3.
Looks like he's going to be about a half a yard short. Oh, no, they're going to move the chain. I got one guy pointing. Yeah, they moved the ball across.
Right foot, left foot.
Yeah,
you told us that week 1.
Yeah, that's right. They went to the left foot, which was the right one this time. So
three
did you follow that?
I did.
Okay, good.
I know that came from Northwest Iowa.
Yeah, anyway.
First and 10 Maroons. The ball at the 40-yard line of Southeast Polk. Maroons in a pistol formation. Middleton the tailback. 2 receivers to the left. And now Nahas with a long count, and he'll give it to Middleton. Looking, trying to go over to the left side. Puts his head down, and he goes down shy of the 35. They'll spot him at the 36, gain of 4.
And nice run there by Ian. He gets hit, and no one's going to take him down on that initial hit. And he spins out of it a little bit and then carries the defense for a couple more yards. And it was LaFoy Hall on the stop there for the Rams.
So that'll bring up 2nd down and 6 for the Maroons. They have 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Nahas with an empty backfield. And now a little toss play on the reverse to, that is Jeffrey Smith, and Jeffrey Roberts turn around and try to cut it upfield.
Yeah.
And they're going to spot him out of bounds at the 26 for a gain of 10.
That young man's got a different gear than a lot of people. You could see when he turned the corner right there, it looked like there wasn't much space, and then boom.
They're going tempo here, 10-yard gain, 1st down Dowling, and now a pass out in the flat. Caught by Roberts. Down the far sideline he goes. Does he get in? And they're going to spot him out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Jeffrey Roberts doing that toe tap along the sideline.
Yeah.
Last week against Dallas Center Grimes, it was the near sideline, and what a move he put over there.
I mean, they're going so fast, we can't even talk about it play to play, what's going on here. But anyway,
tempo.
That was a quick wide receiver slip screen out there, and Roberts got around the corner. Good block from his receiver, which I believe was Drexler. Sprung him down to the 3-yard line.
Dowling 1st and goal at the Ram 3-yard line. 2:06 to go in the half. Dowling knocking on the door in the Iowa Wealth Management red zone. Iowa Wealth Management, a fee-only investment advisory firm helping clients grow and protect their wealth. Learn more at iowawealth.com. And now procedure call once again against Dowling. That's the 2nd time tonight. And Brian Morris, I'm going to have you stick your nose into the offensive timeout when they're off the field, right?
Yeah, well, Dowling, again, you guys said it right, that they're catching Southeast Polk on tempo, guys. Twice in this series, Southeast Polk hasn't even been set for their defense.
All right, the Maroons back up 5 yards. It's 1st and goal from the 8. Drexler in motion, and now he does a little up and in, and now back to throw is Nahas. Fires in the end zone, found his man, touchdown, and that's Roberts right in the middle. I think the defenders thought Joey was going to run it in. He stopped and did the a la maybe Tim Tebow jump pass, and Roberts in the end zone, touchdown Dowling with 2:01 to go in the half, and the Maroons extend their lead to 30-0.
That was a little jump pass. Typically you expect to see that back over the middle to the tight end, but Nahas finds Roberts open in the middle as he's going up to the edge. No, I'll just flip it back to you.
Roberts on an 8-yard touchdown reception from Joey Nahas. Extra point by Ryan Kuhn. Ball is up, and it is good. The Maroons extend their lead to 31-0 over Southeast Polk with 2:01 left to go here in the 2nd quarter. We'll return to Valley Stadium. Week 4 of the Iowa High School football season. It's Dowling 31, Southeast Polk nothing on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN.
The radio home for your Dowling Catholic Maroons. 105.5 KIHS, Perry, Des Moines. IowaCatholicRadio.com and the Iowa Catholic Radio mobile app. Encounter Jesus.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com. 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
Support Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
Kickoff by Dowling, picked up by Stanley Cooper, one of the upbacks, and gets across the 30 up near the 35-yard line. That's where Rams will start 1st and 10. Dowling going 12 plays, 77 yards, capped off by Jeffrey Roberts' 8-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Joey Nahas, his second touchdown of the night. Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell sideline report. JenniferFarrell.remax.com, and it is Brian Morris. Brian?
Yeah, Dowling has done that jump pass a few times this year where it looks like Joey Nahas is going to run the ball. Then he pulls up, and again, nobody was around Jeffrey Roberts. Again, who would have thought this guy's 31-0?
Didn't have that on my bingo card, Brian.
You.
I don't think anybody did. I just thought it'd be a grind-out game, maybe low scoring, and here we are, 31 points at halftime by Dowling. Mart on the handoff. Back in the ball game is Drew Thompson at tailback as he gets the start on this series, and now we've got a timeout called by Dowling with the loss on the play there, Matt.
Yeah, I was guessing that Dowling might go ahead and try to call timeout here to get the ball back here with a minute to go, minute 30 to go. We got guests in the booth.
Matt, didn't we talk about school uniforms a couple of years ago? And then I promised I'd drop it. Well, what is this?
I don't know what that is.
We've got our halftime guests up here, members of I think they're part of the volleyball team that you're the principal of.
Yeah, I know.
That she's the coach of.
You see how tall those kids are behind you?
Have you seen them serve?
Yeah, I know.
Have you seen them spike?
Yeah.
I want nothing. I got to wear a helmet when I'm around the gym now. Good grief.
I'm going to say, I think one of them followed me to school the other day, and we're not going to talk about our driving.
You're getting tailed to school, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go down. Let's just get out of the press box here. Brian Morris, take it away. We're getting inundated with some volleyball folks.
Yeah, Dowling, guys, has 2 timeouts left, and again, I think if they're not moving the ball, Tom wants one shot to get some more points on the board. Why not?
What's that?
All right, it's 2nd down and 10 for Southeast Polk. That last play went for no yards. Thank you for that report, Brian, and that Jenny Farrell sideline report. Mart back to throw, fires it, and kind of went against the grain. Intended receiver was at the 45-yard line, fell down, incomplete, and that was Brennan Swanson, the junior wide receiver, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10. For the Rams, the clock stopped the minute 39 to go.
Plays into what Dowling wants right there and getting the clock stopped. And for Martin, it's one of these coaching things for him is one of the things you don't want to do is roll out and throw it back into the middle of the field because I believe it was Jordan Watson was sitting right there, almost got that picked off for the Maroons.
All right, 3rd and 10, Southeast Polk. Clock stopped at the minute 39 to go in the first half. Dowling down to 1 timeout. Back to throw is Mark. Fires it out. The pass is knocked down. Incomplete. Great play that time by Anthony Bonanno, who timed the throw.
He really did. They were setting up a little screen out there back to the wide side of the field, and Bonanno stiffed it out and got up there and knocked the ball down. Incomplete pass. Dowling's going to get the ball back with about a minute 30 to go. And now you're putting both back. Now you're playing for a return. You've got Jeffrey Roberts and Sammy Drexler back there.
All right, Dallas Lane into punt for Southeast Polk, wearing number 90, averaging just under 28 yards in the season. Case Ferguson is the long snapper. Good snap, and gets it away. It's a high, short kick. It'll bounce right at the Dowling 42 and takes a Southeast Polk bounce inside the 30. Finally touched at the 30, and that's where the Maroons will have it 1st and 10. From their own 31-yard line with a minute 22 to go here in the first half. Dowling leading 31-0. Dowling offense will be on the field with 2 timeouts remaining. Is that right? I thought they only had.
Well, they only used one. I think they used one earlier. I thought too.
Yeah. So Maroons have 2 timeouts remaining on the scoreboard. Brian Morris will send it down to you in our Jenny Farrell Team Remax Concepts sideline report. JenniferFarrell.remax.com. Brian, take it away.
You know, you guys got to realize we're on radio. You're talking about what the kids are dressed up there. You got to paint a picture for us in the crowd here. You got the volleyball players dressed as
overalls.
Oh, okay.
White overalls.
I got you.
It's not tie-dye. It's
we got the seniors have to wear white. The juniors got to wear camo. Am I right on this? Yeah.
There's a pass.
I've been paying attention a little bit.
From Nahas, out and caught by Roberts, across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. First down, Dowling. Gain of 12.
And you ask, well, why is Dowling? They're up 31-0. Why are they being aggressive like this? Because this becomes game situation against one of the better teams in the state, and you want to practice your 2-minute drill and move the ball down the field.
First and 10 Maroons from the Dowling 43, minute 16 to go in the first half. 2 timeouts by Dowling, and now we've got a stoppage procedure against the Maroons for the third time tonight.
Well, if there's one thing you got to work on, I didn't see it. Brian, did you see what's...
Yeah, number 45 for Southeast Polk, he's doing something that Joel Thompson, he's doing something that causes the Dowling offense to flinch, and they think he's coming into the neutral zone because then they move. That's the second time that's happened. So, again, I'm now going to kind of focus in on 45 a little bit more to see exactly what he's doing.
All right. Well, the umpire's standing right there, and we got a top-flight officiating crew tonight, Randy Heimerman's crew. Bill Pronge is the umpire, Kevin Welsh the head linesman, Jay Floor the left line judge. Back judge is Andy Woodley. Heath Banks the side judge, and Jason Seahusen is the field judge. And now here's a pass downfield incomplete. Nahas goes down as he's hit, and the Rams had double coverage on Jeffrey Roberts as the play went down the near sideline here, Matt.
Right now, they're playing a cover zone back there and man underneath and one over the top and really blanketing the receivers as they know that they're going to be out there with a minute and 11 left throwing the football. I wouldn't be surprised here you see a little flare pass or something out there into the flats. You're getting Ian Middleton the football here.
I'd like to see something with Drexler or Roberts to get going. Here's a pass to Drexler, and Sammy's with the catch shy of the first down, trying to run out of bounds at the 46. So he'll gain about 7-8 yards, but that'll bring up third and long for Dowling at their own 47-yard line, Matt.
And they see that they're giving them the cushion, so they took the short one, and Southeast Polk had them outnumbered 3-2 over there on Drexler and Roberts, and then Drexler catches the ball short gain, but still, now you have third and manageable.
2 receivers at the top of the screen for Dowling Catholic. One of them is Preston Hoffbauer, number 4. 2 at the bottom. 1 back in the backfield, Middleton. Back to throw, Nahas. Has time. Now wants to run. Crosses midfield. Spins out of a tackle and finally tripped up. Near a first down. He's got the first down. He'll stop the clock with under a minute to play.
It wasn't the most graceful spin in the world, but it was effective. And Nahas realized he was about a yard short of the first down and spun out of it. And makes a great play, gets first down. Clock stops while they move it, and now it's running again.
Gain is 7. Runs with 2 timeouts remaining. Nahas out of the shotgun. Back to throw he goes. Looks left. Now looks across the middle and fires near side. And the pass is caught that time by Hoffbauer, or Smolback rather. Schwinn with the catch, and that'll stop the clock with 35 seconds to go. And if they take a timeout, they will. So we will keep it here. That's all right, Aaron Bandy. Is that good? All right. Alongside Matt Mainring, I'm Mark Amadale. Obviously, Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline, the CISN crew, as we are simulcasting with them. And, at halftime, we're going to have the Dowling volleyball team. All the captains, believe it or not, are behind us, along with head coach Mary Beth Wiskus, who I think has made 12 straight trips to state, maybe 13. I got to ask her. I lose track.
Yeah,
you do too.
I know, I do too.
You got to let school out sometimes.
I know, it's great.
That's where they get to state. You got to decide. Well, we're going to have half day of school. You're going to get out early to go to Iowa City. Mr. Mainring. I love it. I love it.
We do, and then we do it. We take attendance there because we count. If you're going to go to the game, we're going to give you credit for it and not count it as an unexcused absence. So we always take roll when we get there.
You do?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a tight ship, and and the kids are great, and it's a lot of fun. She just has developed a great program, and it is about kids. That's what I love about what Mary Beth does.
All right, Nahas fires the end zone. He's got Drexler, but off his hand, incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 29 seconds to play, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for the Maroons at the Southeast Polk 38-yard line. Brian, I don't remember doing that. I used your name, I think, Brian, a few times when I checked in, but I can't do that now.
Matt does run a tight ship there, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
I like the discipline, Matt. We've lost a little of that.
Yeah. You create accountability.
I was just looking for an out, that's all. All right, 3rd and 2 Maroons from the Polk 38, handoff Middleton up the gut, stutter steps, and blast through. He's got the first down. That'll stop the clock with 23 seconds to go. Maroons trying to get into field goal range or scoring range. See how many shots they take here, Matt.
Yeah, and the clock has stopped again while they move the chains in high school football. So here they are. They quick get set. 20 seconds left. The clock is rolling now, and they're going to quick get another play off here. And down to 15 points. Yeah, they're going to call timeout because time was getting away.
They couldn't get their personnel together. And, we'll keep it here again, Aaron, with 14 seconds remaining in the first half. Dowling uses their final timeout. Maroons lead it 31-0 over Southeast Polk. Yes, with 14 seconds to go in the first half. And want to remind you about our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. They include Bows and the Florist, Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Fast Signs in Clive. And, of course, our Red Zone sponsor, Iowa Wealth Management, and our sideline sponsor this year, the Jenny Farrell team at Remax Concepts. Have been helping generations of Dowling Catholic families with their real estate investments for almost 30 years. Learn more at jenniferfarrell.remax.com. Let's go down to one of their realtors, and that is Brian Morris. Brian?
And we want to help future generations, too. I need to get that into that write-up, Mark. But Dowling right now, they're trying to again, you see the pros and college kids, they come up so quickly, they spike the ball. That just takes a lot of practice to do, and Dowling just couldn't get it, so Tom had to use his last time out because we lost like 5 seconds on that. So Dowling probably has maybe 3 plays to give shot in the end zone, maybe 3.
Yeah, without a timeout, so we'll see. Good point, Brian. All right, back to live action. 1st and 10 Dowling from the Southeast Polk 35. Dowling 31, Southeast Polk nothing. The battle of top 10 matchup. Rams at 6 and Dowling at 4. Back to throws Nahas. He launches in the end zone. Got a man wide open. Is it
He caught it.
Touchdown,
he
one-handed.
Caught that ball.
That was Drexler with a one-handed catch over the shoulder. And we're going to watch this on the replay. Holy mackerel.
Oh, he ran right by the defender and with a little stutter step. And the ball is over his shoulder, his inside shoulder, makes it for a tough play. And if you're able to watch this on CISN, you aren't going to see a much better catch than this, as that ball came dropping in there, and Nahas put it right where he wanted it, over the shoulder, one hand, and it's in.
Touchdown Dowling from 35 yards, the second touchdown reception tonight for Sam Drexler. And now the extra point by Ryan Kuhn. Sorry, ladies, no replay, as the extra point by Kuhn is up and good. And the Maroons now have a running clock, leading 37-0 over Southeast Polk with 7 seconds remaining in the first half. We'll take a break and come back to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN.
Powered by you. This is listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 105.5 KIHS, Perry, Des Moines, 89.3 KDVM, Mason City, and 89.9 KCSL, Spencer, Spirit Lake.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Life's buzzing with energy, and every moment is powered by our health. At Mercy One, their caring doctors focus on just that, so you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercy1.org/healthpowerslife.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
All right, here's the kickoff by Dowling and return by Southeast Polk. Crossing is Brennan Swanson as he crosses the 30. And that'll be the final play of the first half. Dowling going into halftime with 3 touchdown passes from Joey Nahas. Sam Drexler has caught 2. And we'll go down to Brian Morris, who will have head coach Tom Wilson here in a moment. But Dowling leading 38-0 at halftime, which means the Maroons will start with the running clock. Let's go down to Brian with head coach Tom Wilson.
Hey, Coach, it had to be one of the better halves of Dowling Catholic football in the last several years.
Really proud of our kids. I can always find things in there. There's a couple of drives that we didn't finish, but really happy with our kids. We're making plays, playing in all three phases, which that's what we've challenged them with.
Yeah, the three phases, again, you get that interception, you get the touchdown early, and then you have a punt return. Defense gave up the one first down in the first quarter.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. We're wanting to make them one-dimensional. They're going to keep trying to pound the ball, and we got to play good defense.
All right, Coach, see you in the second half.
All right, that's Brian Morris with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic as the Maroons lead it here at halftime, Matt, 38-0. Dowling will start with a running clock in the second half, and that's just unheard of in this series.
Yeah.
It's always been a point or less than a touchdown.
Yeah.
You go back to the last 7 matchups with Southeast Polk.
If you'd have said we're going to have a running clock at halftime of this game, you'd have said no way. And this is unbelievable. And if you're Southeast Polk, the walls just came crashing down. And in that first quarter, it was all phases of the game. It's special teams, it's defense, it's everything. And that's a special half of football.
It certainly is. We're going to take a 2-minute break. It's set for halftime. What a performance here by the Dowling band. And performing, of course, we'll have the dance dads out there. We'll have some camera angles on CISN as we're going to interview members of the Dowling volleyball team, head coach Mary Beth Wiskus with her captains.
Yeah, I think they're a little excited to talk to you. Look at them.
They've never been on the radio before. None of them have, I bet.
We haven't had this kind of energy since Ryan Vogt was up here.
Would you please stay around because I might need some help here, Matt. Our halftime score, Dowling 38, Southeast Polk nothing. We'll take a 2-minute break along our network stations. That includes CISN and Iowa Catholic Radio as we'll return to Valley Stadium in 2 minutes. Dowling 38, Southeast Polk nothing on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN.
60 Seconds with Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen.
The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him, and neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. That is why those who share that Spirit understand one another so readily. To try to teach people about Christ and the mysteries of our holy faith is almost like trying to teach a blind man color, unless those people are ready to receive the Spirit of Christ himself. Now, converts who take instruction come to know that Jesus is our Lord. Where do they learn it? From the Spirit. The Holy Spirit woos the soul, draws it to a closer fellowship, to more intimate union, becomes our sanctifier, just as the Father is our Creator and the Son is our Redeemer.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
This is Deacon Mark Campbell, Executive Director of Iowa Catholic Radio, inviting you to share your story and inspire others. Your voice can make a difference as we celebrate the power of faith-filled media. Has our programming deepened your faith, brought you peace, or renewed your hope? Call us at 515-223-1150 or email me, deaconmark@iowacatholicradio.com, to share how God has worked through Catholic radio in your life. Together, let's keep the hope alive on every frequency.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOIowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, alongside Matt Maindry and Brian Morris. I'm Mark Amadale here at halftime with members of the Dowling girls volleyball team led by head coach Mary Beth Wiskus. And Coach, thanks for joining us. And boy, there's a lot of excitement in this press box we haven't had in a while.
Yes, a lot of energy for sure.
Who have you brought with you?
I'll let them introduce themselves. Go ahead.
I'm Ellie Moeller. I'm a senior.
I'm Tessa Holtworth, and I'm a senior.
I'm Ava Gredicke. I'm a senior.
I'm Kaylee Klein. I'm a junior.
Yeah, I remember some of these from basketball. This is not going to be good right now.
Yes, multi-sport.
They're very comfortable around the microphone. That bothers me right away.
They're just excited to be here.
Mary Beth, thanks for joining us. What a year you've had.
Yes.
You're in the first half of the season, technically, right?
It's been a busy first half, for sure.
Well, they got you up to 6 in the rankings.
Yes.
And I know you're not at full strength, but you're getting there. But these ladies have done a good job in the meantime.
Yes. We have a lot of great leadership from these 4 kids and a lot of youth in our team right now, and just continuing to get after it every day and get better.
Well, this team is, you're in your 17th year.
Yes.
Is that right, at Dowling?
You're making me feel old now.
We got to set the stage. 17 years, 13 years qualified for state. Is that right?
Yep.
And what about with this group that dressed as they are with the coveralls and all this?
I know.
Is it homecoming week? Oh, that's next week.
Yes, I know. The excitement is still there for sure. I still remember 13 years ago when we first made it to state, and Mary Jess Hedinger hit that kill on the slide, and we all were like the first team ever that ever went to state. And now all the tradition is here for these guys to keep holding up, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of every year.
You guys are 10-7 in a very tough CIML. Matter of fact, state champions come out of there, as you know. You play them once or twice a year.
Yes.
But a very tough schedule. It has been thus far. But I mentioned a little bit about an injury. You might have somebody back based on practice last night. How are we looking?
Yes, we're looking good. Kaylee's coming back from a little injury on Tuesday night, and she'll be good here soon. But overall, really healthy, and the girls are they got after it today in practice. I thought it was a good practice, just consistently keeping our eyes on getting better.
Mr. Mainry talked about, how these girls serve and the velocity of that. I saw it last night. I got a duck to get under and around just to get back to Coach Wilson's office.
I hope so.
So all right, let's let Muller take over.
All right.
Are you a senior yet?
Yeah,
Gosh,
finally.
It seems like she's been in the program 5 or 6 years. My gosh. And let's see. Are you leading the team in kills? That's what I'm looking for. Ellie Muller, 79 kills. Oh, Gredeke's got you.
Yes,
Gredeke's
Ava.
got you. She's got you by about 20 kills. What's going on?
I don't know. It was just having a great year. She's doing great, so good for her,
Yeah, it is. Well, let's talk about the season. I know it's a long year for you. Volleyball right into basketball, but you've had a lot of things happen to you. Talk about this volleyball group you're in charge of. You named a captain.
Yeah, well, it's been an interesting year of a lot of new people, but we've built connections, and I practice getting better every day, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Well, practice was pretty intense last night. You had the music going.
Yeah,
and
always.
Oh, my goodness. They
Keeps
allow
the
that
energy
at Dowling now, Mr. Major? It's always loud, okay.
Yeah,
but,
when we have the speaker, it's up.
But that was a non-competitive practice, right? Because you were going against your teammates, or was it competitive?
Well, it's always competitive.
Okay.
We always want to win.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck. Who's up next? Who's on your schedule? I got to look here.
Johnston.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
Tuesday.
is this week?
Yeah, and then Scott on Thursday. And Liberty? Question mark?
Yep, you have Johnston, Omaha, Scott.
Yeah.
Boy. And then Ankeny, Waukee, and Southeast Polk to end the season.
Yeah.
Oh, then with number 1 Northwest. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's what's going.
Yep.
Staying healthy?
Yeah.
Good. All
Yeah.
right. Well, your sister's not out?
No.
But your other sister is. The younger one is.
Freshman is. She's.
How do you navigate 3 Muller sisters, Coach Wiskus?
Yeah.
They are. For sure. So you having fun with your youngest sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's fun having someone there. Katie's focusing on basketball right now, so it's fun having Nikki with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pass the microphone over, Muller. We'll talk more during basketball season, I'm sure. Tessa, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
We have who? Tessa Holdorf?
Yep.
Okay. Senior?
Yep.
All right. What do you think with this get up here? I don't see you in basketball, but some of these girls tonight, this is quite the get up. Is the student body that way tonight? You guys all dress?
Oh, yeah.
You guys all dress that way?
Yeah.
All right. Talk about your season.
It's been good. This is my first year, actually starting and being on the court, but I really enjoy just, getting to be a part of, be on the team, and getting to work with all these girls is so fun and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else, and, yeah.
What's your position?
I'm a setter.
You're a setter.
Mhm.
Okay. So no libero with the captains. Okay. Not up here. Not up here. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a setter. Who do you set it to? Gredeke's got leads and kills.
all these girls are great, so I have full confidence in all of them.
There's a certain one that wants the ball in a certain way so they can, spike it.
Yeah, Ava likes to talk to me a lot about my sets, but it really helps me get to know where to put it so that she can get the kills.
That's why she leads the team with 96,
exactly.
and Muller's trying to catch her. Non-competitive, non-competitive.
No.
All right. Well, thank you for coming up here at halftime.
Yes, thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Pass the microphone over. Miss Gregory. Oh, my gosh. I remember when your brother played basketball.
Oh, yes. He's fully out of college now, too.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's been a while ago. Ava Gregory, another senior, leads the team in kills. Is that a good thing, Mr. Maindring, leading the team in kills?
That's a good thing.
That's a volleyball
especially
term.
With this group, because it's a competitive bunch, and so you're trying to balance it out and change your attacks, but because otherwise they're focused on one person, and she still gets it through.
Yeah. Talk about some of the matches. You guys play in tough tournaments, and then, of course, turn around playing the CIML, and everybody in the CIML seems to make it to state. So a very tough night in and out, isn't it?
Yes, every night we got to go out and give everything we got because every team is so competitive and nothing's given to us. We got to work our hardest.
Well, you've worked very hard just staying in front of Muller here in kills. I like that.
I have.
I about
she
fell
did beat
off.
me in blocks, though. I had her by a couple, and she came back.
But you have quite a few matches left, so you know who's going to be lurking. And she's going to be telling Tessa, hey, get that ball over to me. And
No, it's great. It's friendly competition always.
Give me a memory this year that you like with this group of gals. Besides dressing up tonight and being in the press box, give me a good memory that you had thus far.
Some of my favorite memories is this year we've decided to do small team dinners. So we just take small groups of 4 each week, and we switch up our people, and we go different places. And it's really nice to be able to closely with a small group, individually talk and communicate with each person. Because with a big team, sometimes you aren't going to be the closest with the person 2 grades below you, but this really helps, and it's really fun.
Yeah, I noticed you have some freshmen and sophomores, so underclassmen on the team, and you're one of the captains. So
yes, it's a very young team, but they all got the fire in them.
Well,
They're doing great.
Oh, good. Well, I saw that last night in person as I'm dodging balls.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being on at halftime. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to, Miss Gregory, like your parents or anybody like that?
My parents are definitely watching for home, so shout-out to them. But thank you.
You bet. Best
and my brothers.
And don't forget it, away in college.
Hello.
Oh, Miss Klein. This is what I've been worried about. Yeah. Matt, you want to take this? She's a student that walks your hallways, not mine.
Well, these girls walk the hallways probably more than anybody in the building.
I'm known as a wanderer.
Yeah. We have this thing about keeping your lockers shut.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if they're watching right now. I don't know if they know I'm doing this.
Kaylee Klein. Here we meet again. Oh, my gosh. Volleyball, going into basketball. Oh, that's all right. Talk about the year. This has been a great year thus far. I mean, played the best. You got some good matches coming up and getting to state.
Yeah.
And
I would just say, it's been a tough schedule, but we always try our best. We always compete. And I don't know, we always just come out with fire.
Are you the one that we got to watch out for because you do all the goofy stuff, or is there somebody else in the team that does that?
What would you guys say?
Character? Who's the character?
Kaylee and Gianna.
Yeah, me and Gianna.
Gianna. Okay. Well, Gianna Stanfield.
I got one question here, Mark.
Yeah, go ahead.
I saw on social media, I don't know if it was a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, that I think the volleyball team went out. You didn't have practice one night. Can you talk about that a little bit,
Yeah,
Kaylee?
so after our game on Tuesday, on Wednesday, the next day, we all got in small groups, and we all went out. We got $25 each group, and we went out and did a small act of kindness in the community.
So give an example of what you did.
So me and my group, we went to the fire station, and we were like, hey, thank you for your service. What do you guys want us to buy for you? And they're like, oh, maybe some donuts or coffee. So we got them donuts and coffee.
Healthy stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Good grief. That's awesome.
I saw a couple things. I saw some things on cars and parking lots and different things like that. What were some other things?
Some other groups went to the hospitals and put down notes on the cars and stuff. You got this. Just positive.
Very cool.
Positive notes.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Have you done anything at the principal's office? This guy has some ideas for you if you ever go by the principal's office. Mr. Maynard's not there every day, but he's there most days. But there'll be one day he's not. Come talk to me.
Don't give him any ideas.
Hey, we're visiting with members of the Dowling volleyball team here at halftime. Dowling leading Southeast Polk 38-0 in the football game. And Kaylee, I'm going to see you in basketball. Stay healthy.
Oh, well, I actually did quit.
Well,
there you
I'll
go.
strike that one. Now you tell me.
I might manage the basketball team, so I'll still be on the team, just not on the court.
You stepped right into it. I can't get in front of everything, Mark.
I don't have everything on my list here. But, all right, give the microphone back to
the one
Coach.
thing I would say is as you evolve, Coach, as you got the microphone back.
Thank goodness.
Talk about how you get this group to peak at the right time of the year as you start to wander through the season.
Yes.
What are you shooting for?
Getting these guys to work together. I mean, we have a range of ages that are in classes playing in big positions. Like I said, we have a libero that's a freshman, and we have a lot of, like, Ava's played for 3 years and Ellie's played for 4 years. So it's a mix of young kids and older and veterans, and really just getting them to learn how to play hard, play together is the big thing, and being unselfish and producing the best team, to be honest, not just best individuals.
Right.
But learning what it feels like to play consistently hard for each other. They're getting there. I thought today was a good step in a good direction, and so it's really just figuring out how to consistently do that and max out their potential at the right time. So they have the talents to do it for sure.
Yeah. Coach Wiskus, it seems like everybody in your schedule's a ranked team, and you take on Omaha
really
Scott. I have no idea about them. I'm sure they're good.
Yes, they're nationally ranked. We like to make our schedule as tough as we can so we can just learn a lot. Really, I think through all of the times if you fail or if you don't win, you can learn a ton. So I think one of the fun comments is winning is a Band-Aid, right? So it covers up all the stuff that you probably don't want to look at, but sometimes losing uncovers that a little bit and helps us get a little bit stronger, get us strongest at the right time of the season. So we really like to play tough competition and challenge us a ton.
Well, you've been to enough tournaments. I'm sure you've got plenty of memories there, but you go to the West Side Invite, which is at Cedar Rapids, Jefferson.
Yes, that's like a little mini state tournament.
Mini state, yeah.
Yes, with all the best teams and all the classes there. It's our toughest tournament of the season.
And then when you're done there, you take on number one Northwest.
It's a short season.
Yeah.
It's compact and it's a whirlwind. And then it's even more whirlwind when you add all these personalities.
Oh, really? What have regionals come out yet? None of that?
Not yet. That'll be like beginning of October, middle of October.
Well, I'm sure these gals will all be peaking, including Klein.
Yes.
They'll all be peaking at the right time.
Yep. That's the best part is working with the kids. They're awesome.
I appreciate you bringing them up here. I didn't expect this. It's like, Mr. Maynard, you didn't tell me this was going.
Yeah, no, I
didn't know what the uniform rule was after school.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
I tell you, we could get this group right here. We'd probably have enough video of them in the hallways.
Yeah.
During class. I mean, they maximize the amount of passes that they can use sometimes. Ava's graduated, though. She was really good at that. Yeah.
Zedeker did?
Zedeker, yeah.
She's here tonight, right?
Zedeker, yeah.
That is awesome.
It's great kids. What I appreciate always about Coach Wiskus' program is it really is a unit, and it's more about the game itself, and it's about the kids and helping them reach their potential and maximizing themselves as individuals as much as athletes. And that's what I appreciate in watching our kids go through her program.
Yeah,
she does a good job. Her son's part of the football team.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to Matthew Wiskus.
Matthew Wiskus,
senior. He's amazing.
Is he
and
a
then
senior?
Tommy's a freshman. He's a golfer. He's doing great.
Oh, he's
golfing
with
too.
Mr. Gray.
Mr.
There's
Gray.
got to be Mr. Gray stories coming.
Yes, we will have them. I won't share them on air, though.
Oh, I appreciate that, yeah. I've already had breaking news in my face, so that's all right. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to, Coach Wiskus?
My family, my dad, my husband, and my kids. They're amazing. They put up with me for the past... This is my 25th year of coaching volleyball.
Yeah.
So, it's a lot of time, and coaching is a family effort. So, shout out to my family.
Mr. Maynard, I will say this. When one of the Waukee schools where her brother Pat coaches, when they came over to Dowling, she was sitting on the visiting side.
Oh, really?
Rooting for her brother's team at Waukee. Is it Northwest or Waukee? Which ones? Yeah.
I sit with my family.
Yes.
But I cheer for Dowling all the time.
I didn't hear much that day. You were right with your dad and your uncle, and
Yep.
Good
for
stuff.
sure.
It's all good. Hey, thanks for all you do. Thanks for bringing the girls up.
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun. Anybody want to say any words of wisdom
Shout
out there?
out to my dad and Katie in the car on the way to Minnesota.
Oh, this is the Muller. Is it Dan and your dad?
What?
Need first names.
Rick Muller and Katie Muller.
Rick and Katie. Safe travels. Yes.
A shout out to my parents, John Klein and Kathleen Klein, and my sister, Kennedy Klein, and my brother, Danny Klein.
All right, Gregory, you too.
Shout out to my, again, parents, Jeremy and Julie Gregory, and my brothers, Jack and Isaac Gregory.
All right.
Shout out to my parents, Tina and Tyler Holtorf, and my brothers, Trevor and Tanner.
You just did it. Ladies, thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you. Could you do this again, please?
Yeah. No.
It was so much fun.
We're done, Klein. We're done. We're going to take a 1-minute break and return. It's Dowling 38-0 over Southeast Polk. Back in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Pope John Paul II once said, "Humanity, its dignity and its balance, at every moment and on every place on earth will depend upon who he is for her and who she is for him." I am Father Thomas Loya with a Theology of the Body moment for the Tabor Life Institute. Why are we a man? Why are we a woman? Unless we know the why, we do not know the how to be man or a woman, and therefore we do not know how to really be for each other. The why behind being a man or woman is told in the theology of our gendered bodies. Our bodies speak a language. Gender reveals God. Through gender, we can actually participate in the way that God loves us. We can love as God loves. Human sexuality is an icon of the very interior life of the Holy Trinity. To find out more about the theology of the body, visit taborlife.org. taborlife.org.
The second half underway, and we'll have the running clock as the kickoff returned by Southeast Polk. They'll start 1st and 10, Matt, from their own 25-yard line. I know we didn't get any statistics in. I know did Coach Seifert send a few? We'll try to get them in. Brian Morse on the Dowling sideline. This is Mark Amadale. 38-0 Maroons, and Rams with a first down at their own 25-yard line to start the second half, and Mark on the handoff gives it to his tailback and breaking in the secondary.
He's going to go.
He may go. That's Stanley Cooper, and they're going to try to track him down, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Cooper from 75 yards. Wow.
I think there might have been a discussion at halftime. You know, if you're in that Southeast Polk locker room, and how many times have they been down by more than 35 points when they have a running clock at halftime? I'm sure this is a pride thing coming out here right now.
And there it is. He breaks a tackle right at the point of attack, Matt, and he goes all the way in for the touchdown, the replay on CISN. And now the extra point by Southeast Polk. Ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good. So the Rams now have cut the Dowling lead to 38-7 on the extra point by Samer Arafa. And there's a timeout on the field. We'll come back after this 1-minute break. Dowling 38, Southeast Polk 7 here on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOiowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Health powers life. From the delightfully routine to the truly uncharted, at Mercy One, support their caring doctors focus on just that, so you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/health powers life. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com. 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
All right, Southeast Polk goes one play, 75 yards, a touchdown by Stanley Cooper, and the Rams avoid the shutout, 38-7 Dowling. And Matt, you got to look at first half statistics.
I do here. As going through the first half, Dowling had 12 first downs, 17 rushes for 68 yards, and 12 of 17. We'll wait for this kickoff here.
And the kickoff is going to be fielded by Drexler at the 2-yard line. Return down the right side across the 10, and he's brought down right at the 15-yard line. Nice job by the Rams as they tackle him as he doesn't get beyond the 20. So the Maroons will have their first possession of the second half, and they'll have a first down right at the 14-yard line. Matt?
Okay, so 17 rushes for 68 yards. Nahas was 12 of 17 passing for 195 yards for a total of 263 yards on offense, compared to only 52 yards for the Rams, while the Rams had no yards in the air. And Martin was 0 for 4 passing, or Martin was, with 1 interception. That shows the dominance. 2 turnovers for the Maroons, and we'll get to the individuals after this play.
All right, first down Dowling from their own 14-yard line. It's 38-7. Southeast Polk has just scored, and now we got a stoppage to play, and you go ahead with the rest of them, Matt.
With the Sam Drexler had 8 catches for 146 yards. Jeffrey Roberts had 3 catches for 41. Quinn Schmalbach had 1 for 8. Ian Middleton ran the ball 11 times for 42 yards. Joey Nahas ran 2 for 13. Grayson Pennington 4 for 13 yards. And that's the offensive stats for the Maroons.
All right. Nahas in. Penalty against Dowling, so it'll be 1st and 15 from the 10-yard line. And on play action, Nahas' pass towards the right side, caught, and that's Drexler over there with the reception, or was that Roberts? Let's see.
I believe it was Sammy again.
And it was Sammy with the catch, and it gets the Maroons out of a little bit of hole up to the 19-yard line, gain of 9.
Right now, if you're Dowling, you just want to get this momentum back in your direction. And yes, it's a blowout type of ball game, but Southeast Polk has done it every second half this year so far. They've come back and made games interesting.
We'll get Brian in here as we'll go to our Jenny Farrell sideline. Here's a quick pass to Drexler, and he's loose. Down the far sideline is Sammy. Inside the 30, inside the 20. He's got one man to beat. He will. Touchdown, Maroons. 81 yards. Joey Nahas to Sammy Drexler. Wow.
Oh, wait. I don't know. We got a flag on the field, though. Oh, my word.
Officials talking it over, and Dowling offense staying there, and that's not a good sign. They must know it's against them.
Yeah.
Holding against Dowling.
Holding against Dowling. Sammy caught that ball, ran down that sideline, and his speed is amazing. And he's got to come off for a play. He is gassed.
81 yards, and that'll be nullified by the penalty against the Maroons.
You talk about a holding that's more than 10 yards. That's a 94-yard holding play right there.
Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell team Remax Concepts sideline report. Brian Morris, you still there?
I'm still. Again, you were wondering how this game would come out in the second half, but Southeast Polk came out with a little momentum there. Again, the Dowling sideline. The coaches, the cool thing now, they all have tablets. They can coach in real time, so all the players are gathering around looking at kind of what happened on that play, and they can make the corrections on the fly, which is fairly cool from a technology standpoint.
Yes, it is. Play action now by Nahas. Rolls out. Now he wants to run, and he's tripped up at the 25-yard line. He'll gain 5. Now the penalty moved the ball back to the 20-yard line. The line of scrimmage was a 19 when Drexler went in for the touchdown that was called back. So it's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the hold.
You're right.
So that's why it's at the 20, and now Nahas runs for 5.
He runs for 5, and his knee hit the ground just before he crossed the 25-yard line. So it's 3rd and inches here for the Maroons inside, deep in their own territory.
Pistol formation with Middleton at tailback. 2 receivers to the left. A handoff to Ian. He's tripped up in the backfield, but he bowls his way forward. I think he got the first down as he crossed the 25-yard line, or landed right on it.
Yeah,
his
body was laying across the yard line, so he should get the first down here, and they'll move the chains.
So 1st and 10, Dowling from their own 25-yard line. Thanks to our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. They include Bows and the Florist, Fast Signs in Clive, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Ashworth Vision Clinic. Alongside Matt Mandring, I'm Mark Amadale here in the second half. 9:15 remaining. Game clock running here in the third quarter. It's Dowling 38, Southeast Polk 7 as we simulcast tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio, 105.5 FM. Here's a quick pass that's caught on the far sideline by Dowling for a quick hitter. And shy of the first down with the reception is the Maroons, and that being the Preston Hoffbauer, the receiver.
Yeah, Preston Hoffbauer makes that quick catch as Nahas is, that's his thing. He can throw that quick curl pattern, that stop pattern, and puts the ball right on those guys at the yard line and or at the boundary, and it's money.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Handoff Middleton. He crashes through there, picked up the first down. Right over the middle across the 40 up to the 41-yard line. That's a gain of 10 for Ian Middleton, who had a pretty good first half, as you mentioned.
He did. And Marquez Harris, he caught Middleton as Middleton had gained steam, and he caught the full brunt of Ian right over the middle there for a big gain.
So bring up 1st and 10 for the Maroons. Their own 41-yard line. Quick pass to Roberts, and the pass is incomplete. Roberts had it, but he was stripped of the football. Nice individual effort that time by Kinnick Sanders of Southeast Polk. Love that first name of Kinnick. That means his mom and dad are Hawk fans.
Yeah, that might make you a Hawk fan.
Yeah, and that gets to the top of my list, whether you're the opponent or you're on the Dowling team.
That's funny. Great play by Kinnick, as he did come out and read that play and was able to knock it out of Jeffrey's hands just as the ball got there.
All right, 2nd down 10 Maroons from their own 41-yard line. Nahas back to throw, fires it downfield. Got a man open, but just overthrew Jeffrey Roberts at the 20-yard line, incomplete. And he had one-on-one coverage there.
He did, and that's not something you're going to say very often. Overthrew Jeffrey Roberts. That's pretty hard to do. Yeah. And just need a little more air under it as he zipped that thing out there, and Jeffrey's running full steam, and now it's just a little too much gas.
A lot of games going on tonight. Number 1, Waukee Northwest Wolves at Iowa City High. Linn-Mar of Marion at Iowa City Liberty. Urbandale's at Dowling now with a 3rd and 10. Back to throw is Nahas. Fires the ball downfield again. Looking for a receiver. The pass is incomplete. And he had a step on his man, but he also had a good defense by the Rams. And the intended receiver from Maroons was Jimmy Nahas.
Yeah, and that was great coverage there by the Southeast Polk secondary as they ran stride for stride there, as Nahas again tried to throw that vertical route down the right sideline and just missed again as the Maroons are out to punt it away.
All right, it'll bring up 4th down and 10 for the Maroons. And Dowling will punt it away with Schmid and gets it away. It's inside the 30 where it bounces. And it'll roll out of bounds right around the 25-yard line. That's where the Rams will start. 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line with 8:16 remaining, 3rd quarter. Dowling 38 and Southeast Polk 7. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. That is where Brian Morris is at. Brian?
Yeah, guys, we went for the bomb like 4 times on that drive, but Nahas just overthrew a couple of those. And then on that last pass, the defender had some good coverage on Jimmy Nahas, and Joey just the ball just couldn't get there.
So it'll be 1st down, Southeast Polk from their own 25-yard line. Last time they were in the same spot, they ran for 75, and now the handoff goes to the tailback. This time it's Stanley Cooper, and he's stacked up after they're going to spot him back at the 24 for a 1-yard loss. Matt, it'll bring up 2nd and 11.
Good penetration by the Dowling defense into the backfield as he did try to cut that back. Cooper did, and the junior couldn't quite escape the defense there, and he gets a loss of a yard.
All right, it'll bring up 2nd and 11. And the Rams get to keep with the football. They get it to T. Cantrell, and he gets the across the 30 to the 31-yard line on a quick hitter there.
Yeah, Robertson in coverage there and did a really good job of hitting him just as the ball got there to stop any more of a gain. Joel Sanko was coming off the edge there on the blitz, and the ball went right between his hands as he jumped up and tried to knock it down. So 3rd and 4 here for the Rams with 7:12 to go, 38-7.
3rd and 4 for Southeast Polk. Quarterback Austin Mark spins, rolls to his left, fires the ball downfield. The pass is tipped and incomplete. Maroons had that well read as they had a defender there, and I think that was the linebacker Miller, Jackson Miller, on the deflection, incomplete.
Yep. Yeah, good coverage there as they tried to roll Marr out and give him some time to throw on that wide side of the field. And I think originally he wanted to go to Cooper out of the backfield and didn't get it to him, and it's incomplete. I'll get some scores here for you.
Other games tonight, Waukee Northwest ranked number 1 at Cedar Rapids Prairie. Iowa City Liberty ranked 2nd is at Johnston. Valley's at Waukee. Southeast Polk and Dowling playing each other tonight. Ankeny is at Centennial in the Battle of Ankeny, and now a fair catch signal for by Drexler right at the 33-yard line. That's where Dowling will take over 1st and 10 from their own 33 as Both teams have now had an exchange of possessions after the Rams scored on their first play from scrimmage in the third quarter on a 75-yard run by Stanley Cooper, and it's been the defense taking over. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline for our Jenny Farrell sideline report with Brian Morris. Brian?
That last play, guys, Dowling's, whatever these Polk came out in formation-wise, Dowling coaches had it read because they were yelling, roll out, roll out, out. So that maybe the coverage was so well because they knew the play that was coming.
Yeah, that always helps when you do. I know that. That's our Jenny Farrell Team Remax Concepts report. JenniferFarrell.remax.com. We appreciate Brian Morris and the Jenny Farrell team supporting our sideline report. Hand off to Middleton right up the gut as the line of scrimmage was the 34, and he got right back to it. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 as Southeast Polk defense stiffens there, man.
Yeah, great penetration there. And just a couple scores. I got Northwest 28, Cedar Rapids Prairie 10. Ankeny's into with the Battle of the Ankeny's going on, and it's tie ball game right now, 15-15 up there, and Valley up on Waukee 14-3. A couple of the other scores I've got to hunt down yet.
Okay, and here it's Dowling 38, Southeast Polk 7. The Maroons led 38-0 at halftime, but the running clock didn't last long. Back to throw is Nahas on 2nd and 10. Fires the ball out, caught by Roberts, tries to slip a tackle, still on his feet at midfield, and finally wrestled out of bounds by the Southeast Polk defense, and Owen Oberbrockling at the Ram 48.
That was a strong run by Jeffrey after he caught the ball, and I was glad to see that Nahas checked it down because he was looking downfield first, and I thought, he was going to let her cut her loose again, and he checks down to Roberts. Nice gain on first down.
Gain of 18 to bring up 1st and 10 Dowling as the Maroons cross midfield from the Southeast Polk 48-yard line as we approach the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. Dowling doing a check with me to their sideline. A reminder, we will have interviews following the ball game with the head coach Tom Wilson and a few Dowling players, and we'll be simulcasting that with CISN. Timeout on the field. We'll take one with them with 6:05 to go, third quarter. Dowling 38, Southeast Polk 7, and Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN.
It started like it does for many people, question my faith and question authority. And I feel that the reason why I left was the draw of the world. The world was pulling me away. Some people would say, Satan was working on me. He did not want me in church. He wanted me to be desperate. He wanted me to have the thoughts of suicide. I started to realize that a lot of the things that I had experienced in my life were a result of my rebellion against God and against authority. Coming back to the church is the first step in healing from all of the hurts of the world. I went from being desperate and in despair to finding hope and encouragement for the future. I'm on God's team. I know who I belong to, and I know where I'm going, and there's nothing that can separate me from God's love.
Take another look at the Catholic Church. Visit CatholicsComeHome.org today.
Stadium in West Des Moines for week number 4 of Iowa High School football as Dowling runs the ball with Ian Middleton, and he gets down to the 44-yard line, pick up a 4. Maroons going tempo, handoff Middleton again, bounces outside, tried to stiff arm his way upfield and couldn't do it. Nice job that time by Freddie Theresa with the stop for Southeast Polk.
Yeah, Middleton tried to squirt to the edge, couldn't get out there, but I think you're going to get a holding call here on the Maroons in the middle of the field, and so it's going to back them up one more time.
So the line of scrimmage was the 44, and that will back them up. Let's go down real quick for a sideline report with our Jenny Farrell team. Sideline report. Brian Morris, come on in.
Yeah, guys, again, we were all thinking maybe continuous clock, but that was taken away from that first play. But, again, the Dowling sideline, 38-0 38-0 at half, just to come out with that same juice and energy because crowd a little bit, just kind of dude, right?
Yeah, and that's always hard to maintain, but this is where you, and Matt, you know this, you got to keep the foot on the gas, so to speak, and it's hard to do when you're up 38-0, and you're hoping the rest of the kids can get in. Back to throw is Nahas on 2nd and 15, and Nahas goes down. That'll be the first sack of the night for Southeast Polk, and they get Nahas back at his own 43-yard line.
Yeah, and they brought I believe that was Kinnick Sanders in on the blitz, and he was able to get to Nahas in the backfield. Like you said, it was the first sack of the night. First time they've had to play from this far behind the sticks all night, so it's a 3rd and a bunch.
3rd and 20. Dowling will have 2 receivers split out wide to the right. One is Sam Drexler, and the other is Quinn Schmolbach. And a pass is near side. That's caught by Jimmy Nahas. So Joey hooks up with his twin brother Jimmy, and he gets across the 45 down to the 43-yard line, shy of the first down here.
You got about 15 yards, and it'd give you a pause for just a little bit. But again, you're up 38-7. You don't want to give them any more energy than they've got in this half, and so you're going to punt this away and try to pin them deep.
So Maroons bring out their punter, Henry Schmid, who's also the backup tailback. Maroons showing 2 receivers set here. 4th and 5, Dowling from the Polk 43-yard line. Good snap, and Schmid will punt it away. Nice kick. And they're going to let it bounce inside the 5, and Dowling's got defenders down there. They touch it at the 5.
Yep.
And that's where it'll be at. Nice job by the Maroons. Joel Sanko touched it right there at the 5-6-yard line. That's where the Rams will start. 1st and 10.
Great pump by Schmid as he was able to dead that thing down inside the 10-yard line. It's one of the things, and I think this happens all over the country, but we used to do this too as coaches. You go out there and you stand before the game while the kids are getting ready, and it's an hour and a half before kickoff, and all the coaches, you stand there and you see who can punt the coffin corner punt and who can get it close to the goal line. I know the Dowling coaches have done that over time too.
Yeah, Pollock was perfect for that, and that was their pregame ritual. Brian Morris, you never did anything like that, did you?
Oh, but Schmid is punting really well this year, guys.
He is. Well, that he's kind of moved his way into the starting punter position, as Jackson Miller was started the year out as a punter, and then it's Schmid has taken over, and now the Rams have the football, and they'll get Stanley Cooper in there as they alternate tailbacks. Cooper carries from his own 6-yard line up to the 10. It'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Rams.
And Cooper has been impressive tonight. He's run hard. He is quick, and he got hit there initially in the backfield, and was able to break that and made it a positive play with Carlos Blunt making the tackle there for the Maroons.
Yeah, Cooper is a junior, Thompson the senior, and they interchange those 2 tailbacks. 2nd and 6, Southeast Polk from their own 10-yard line. Hand off to Cooper again. This time he works the left side, and he's hit and dropped. Shy of the first down, right at the 14-yard line, so he'll pick up 4 and will bring up 3rd down. Now, the 3rd running back, and you might recognize the name here, Matt, Kamarian Phillip. Remember a guy named C.J. Phillip?
C.J. Phillip,
That's his little brother. Kamarian's a junior, and he's carried a few times this year.
Yeah, great kid. He has great. CJ was one of those kids I really enjoyed having in the building, and then transferred back to Southeast Polk for his senior year. I can't tell if this is Miles Elcock down.
Hopefully it's just a cramp.
It looked like cramp or an ankle.
Yeah, they're checking everything out, so that's not good to see. And we'll get Brian on that here. Let's take a look at our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. Our thanks to them, Fast Signs and Clive, Skeffington's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Construction Professionals. Joey Nahas tonight has thrown for 3 touchdowns to lead Dowling. Sam Drexler has caught 2 of those, 1 for 35 yards and 1 from 65 yards to start the game. Ian Middleton's run for a 4-yard touchdown. Check that. Drexler has caught 2 touchdown passes. Then he's got a 55-yard punt return, so he's involved with 3 touchdown passes. Ryan Kuhn's got a 34-yard field goal. And then Stanley Cooper, the only scorer for Southeast Polk, has been the only scorer of the second half. Cooper on a 75-yard run from scrimmage on the first play of the third quarter. And that's been all the scoring that we have had. Dowling's had a touchdown called back here in the second half as Drexler had his touchdown called back due to a holding penalty. Now it's 3rd and 2 out of the injury timeout. Handoff goes to the tailback. Drew Thompson back in there, and I think he's got the first down. He does. They'll spot him down right at the 17-yard line, and he only needed to get to the 16.
Yeah, strong run for him right there as he ran into that. He got a full head of steam and was into that line, and Miles Elcock just walked off, and he's got a little hobble on him, and great kid. And I was he's one of those kids. I was in AP statistics the other day watching class, and there's Miles in there grinding it out as a senior in AP stats. And great young man, and hope it's not a major injury.
Well, Jack McLaughlin, number 45, goes in for him. Jack's also the long snapper, and now the Maroons will hand the ball off, and they run right at Jack McLaughlin, and going nowhere is the tailback, Drew Thompson, and there'll be no gain in the play to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Rams.
Yeah, great stop there inside as the Maroons tighten up on that defense and make it a little bit harder. Right there, that was Brady Hagan right there to make the stop.
Well, it's Hagan and McLaughlin, the two defensive linemen, as McLaughlin replaces Elcott. It's 2nd and 11, Southeast Polk. Minute 35 remaining, the game clock running here in the third quarter. Our score, Dowling 38, Southeast Polk 7. Yep, two top 10 teams in Class 5A. Dowling ranked 4th, Southeast Polk ranked 6th, but it's been all Dowling tonight. They raced out to a 38-0 halftime lead. Back to throw is Marr, fires out, pass is caught. Nice reception that time by the Rams as they get out, and that's A.J. Vanderbrink with the reception. He gets it across the 30. They're going to run him out of bounds at the 37-yard line to pick up a 20.
Yeah, and as he was going down the field, he caught that ball and then shuffled it in his hand. You're going to see it on the CISN replay here. And the ball ends up on the ground, and there's a scramble right at the end of this play.
Oh, yes, there was.
Right in the sideline, but it's out of bounds. And once the player is touching the boundary with the ball, it's out.
Where they spot it. They don't spot it where it goes out,
right.
So you can't have that forward push, if you will. So it's 1st and 10. Southeast Polk from their own 36-yard line on the reception by Vanderbrink. And now a little swing pass to the left side. This is caught. Back-to-back passes by Southeast Polk. We haven't seen that tonight. And a nice reception out there in open field by Caleb Latterini.
Yeah, that's a new name for us there. And or is that Brian Deegan? Was it number 82?
No, it was 22.
22, okay.
So Latterini with the
catch.
And it's 2nd down and 1 now for the Rams. So back-to-back passes. We haven't seen too much of that this year, or this game. Southeast Polk with a 2nd and 1 from their own 45-yard line on a 9-yard catch that time. Here's the snap. And they'll give it to the tailback and hit and dropped at midfield. I think they just changed another tailback in there.
Yeah.
And that might be Kamarian Phillip.
And he was hit in the backfield. Leo Picano had him in the backfield, gets hit, and then stumbles forward for a 1st down, and that'll end the quarter.
We'll take a break as we come to the end of the third quarter here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, Week 4. It's Dowling 38, Southeast Polk 7, alongside Matt Mandring and Brian Morris. I'm Mark Amadale here on CISN and Iowa Catholic Radio.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, helping people grow in their love and understanding of God.
Listen to EWTN, listen to the Catholic stations, but turn away that mainstream media, that mainstream news. It's all nonsense.
I come from a family of 16. I was really encouraged when I was listening to your radio station, and I just think everything you were saying was absolutely true, and that there's still hope out there.
Let's go with that.
Very good. All right, we're back here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Start of the fourth quarter. Dowling 38, Southeast Polk 7. Alongside Matt Mandring, I'm Mark Amadale. Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline. Here's Mark back to throw. Austin fires it right side. The pass is caught, and that's the tight end, T. Cantrell, out of bounds with the 1st down for Southeast Polk to start the fourth quarter inside the Dowling 30.
You see a little bit of confidence growing in Marr right now as he threw that ball out there. They had a trips to that side, and they ran the 2 deep on the outside, and then took Teague from underneath and ran him underneath into the flats, and he was wide open. Marr hits him in stride. Big gain for the Rams.
15-yard gain for Southeast Polk. First down, Rams at the Dowling 30-yard line as we're underway here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 38, Southeast Polk 7. Rams as they huddle up and break the huddle. We'll send 2 tight ends to the left and 2 receivers to the right. Austin Marr, the junior quarterback, out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff to Cooper, rolls to his right. Ball is aired out incomplete because he had somebody barreling down on him, and that is big number 90, Ryan Bobo.
Ryan Bobo with the pressure there, and he threw that ball out of bounds, and I don't know how that can't be a grounding.
Well, Randy Heimerman, the white hat, the referee, asking Jay Floor, the linesman, did the ball go past the line of scrimmage, and we'll see if we get a flag or not.
They're going to have a discussion, but I think they're going to wave it off.
All right. So
he threw the bag down where the quarterback was when he threw the football, and it's it'd been 12 yards back, but they said it got to the line of scrimmage.
The line judge, Jay Flores, said it went past the line of scrimmage. So it brings up second down and 10 for Southeast Polk, as the line of scrimmage remains the 30-yard line. Rams will send out 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, and the H-back will line up off the right tackle. High snap. Martin gets it. He fires it far sideline. Pass is complete, but for a short gain over there to his wide receiver, A.J. Vanderbrink.
That was Jordan Watson out there in coverage and makes the hit just as soon as he got to the football. The receiver did, and makes a nice play there, knocks him out of bounds, and makes it a short gain. So now you have 3rd and 3 with 11:23 go, and Dowling up 38-7.
And that last tackle by Dowling kept the ball in bounds. So
make that clock spin.
Yeah. So the Maroons trying to milk the clock here. They'll send out 2 receivers left, will the Rams, 1 to the right. Southeast Polk going right to left towards the north end zone here in the fourth quarter. Handoff goes to the tailback, Stanley Cooper, and he's swallowed up, and he's going to be shy of the first down as he's brought down right at the Dowling 27-yard line for no gain.
Yeah, they brought Carlos Blount on a blitz right there, and Blount was able to get into that backfield right behind the running back and bring him down right away, and makes it a no gain. Is that what you said, Mark?
Yep,
it was a
no gain,
right?
So bring up 4th and 7 for Southeast Polk at the Dowling 27. Rams will bring in an extra tight end. So they're going to go with their big formation. 1 receiver to the right, that being A.J. Vanderbrink, and 1 to the left, that being Aiden Levy. Austin Marr out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, fires over the middle, pass is overthrown, incomplete. Play action fake to Cooper, but he couldn't hit the receiver on the slant route, that being Vanderbrink, and that will result in turnover on downs. Credit to the Dowling defense there, Matt.
Yeah, credit to the Dowling defense and the pressure there, and he airmailed that one a little bit over Vanderbrink, went over his head, and it was an uncatchable football, and the defense holds. And outside of the one big play, the defense has had a great night.
Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell team sideline report, and that's Brian Morris in the Dowling sideline tonight. Brian, give us an update.
Dowling's defense held their guys. They were talking to the refs. I think there was a lot of holding going on. One of the coaches was upset with the heads lineman over on this side of the field, and it was kind of a funny conversation that I get to partake in.
Because it happened right in front of you, right?
It did.
There's a swing pass out to the outside, caught by Drexler, and Sammy goes outside the numbers and goes from his own 27 up to the 36-yard line, gain of 9.
Well, one of those officials I've known for a while, Jason Seahusen. So, yeah.
Up from Northern Iowa guy?
He's from my hometown.
He's from Sheldon, Iowa?
He's from Sheldon, Iowa.
Well, how did he get mixed up with Heimerman and Flores crew and Woodley, which is a state championship crew, by the way?
Yeah.
Handoff goes to Middleton on 2nd and 1. Middleton bowls his way across the 40, and that pile still moving up to the 43-yard line.
Boy, that's fun to watch that pile move. Middleton's just keeping the Pistons moving, and he's got those legs churning as they run forward, and we got a white jersey down on the field right now.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to see as stops the clock with 9:25 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 38, Southeast Polk 7 alongside Matt Mandring, I'm Mark Hamadale. Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline. And, of course, our CISN crew here tonight. We appreciate Aaron Bandy, who is our press box studio producer, if you will. Also here are the three young ladies who are with him, Marion Bailey and Megan Stevens on the cameras upstairs. And then down on the sidelines with Mr. Brian Morris is Sam Nord. So we appreciate all three of those young ladies with the cameras tonight. And let's go down to the Dowling sideline for our Jenny Farrell sideline report. Brian Morris, take it away.
Yeah, Miles Elcock, he's down here with the some ice on his knee. I know they were kind of moving it around like they do, but he's down out here on the sideline, ice wrapped around his knee.
All right, the injury is for Southeast Polk is on number 32, DeAnthony Davis, and DeAnthony walking off under his own power, limping like Miles Elcock for Dowling. DeAnthony, a 6 foot, 250-pound senior nose tackle for the Rams, and head coach Brad Zelenovich. Dowling with a 1st and 10, handoff Middleton. Ian goes over to the left side and gets up to about the 47-yard line for a gain of 4.
Yeah, nice hard run there by Ian as you see him hit the line of scrimmage and bounce off a couple white jerseys and just keep rolling forward. And the one thing about watching Ian run is he always finishes forward. He always finishes, and that's Coach Meeks talking to those running backs all the time, and it's all about finishing forward.
And ball security and finishing forward.
Yeah.
All right, 2nd and 6 Dowling from their own 47-yard line. 8:45 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Our score, Dowling 38, Southeast Polk 7. If you joined us late, the Maroons led 38-0 at halftime. Just one touchdown in the second half. It was by Southeast Polk. And again, another handoff for the Maroons. They give to Middleton, and Ian gets across midfield, but he's shy of the first down. They'll spot him down at the Ram 48.
And right now, the Dowling offense is just content to sit there and grind this thing out and chew up the clock as it runs down towards the 8-minute mark of this football game.
Yeah, they're going to let the play clock go down as much as possible, and the Maroons are not. That's not their mode. They're hurry up. They snap the ball around 15 seconds, and they'll do it here. Hand off Middleton, and he's going to bowl his way towards the first down, and he got it. Second effort. Rams think they got the football, and Jay Flores says, nope, they are down after a first down by Middleton. Ian falls across the 45 down to the 44 there, Matt.
Yeah, he hit the ground, and he just spun. Oh, we're going to have a flag here at the end of this. And he spun, hit the ground, and the ball pops out after he hit the ground. You can see it on the replay here. And then a flag came in after this play as these kids were talking to each other.
So unsportsmanlike conduct against Dowling, according to our official Randy Heimerman. He joined us late. Sam Drexler involved with 3 of Dowling's touchdowns tonight. He scored on a 65-yard reception from Joey Nahas to start the contest off, and then he scored again on a 55-yard punt return for the Maroons. And then Drexler, with 7 seconds left in the half, a 35-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Joey Nahas. Nahas threw his 3rd touchdown to Jeffrey Roberts from 8 yards out, all in the first half. So the Maroons led 38-0 at halftime. You mix in there a Ryan Kuhn 34-yard field goal. The only scoring in the second half was by Southeast Polk, and that was Stanley Cooper's 75-yard run. So the penalty will move Dowling back to the 41-yard line, back in their own territory.
And the discussion right now, Mark, is about what is it? Is it 1st and 10, or is it 1st and 25? They had a first down, and it was a dead ball foul after the play. So by rule, I believe it's 1st and 10 after they walk back to 15.
So Ian picked up the first down by about a yard.
They are going to move it back, so I'm going to be wrong. They're going to say it was 1st and 10 from the previous spot after the first down, then mark it back 15 yards.
Okay, so the penalty was a dead ball.
Yeah,
penalties.
Dead ball foul after the play. So that's what I thought. It's going to be 1st and 15 or 1st and 25. That's why I initially saw it, and then I saw the yard markers move back, and I thought, okay.
The art of a good crew, whether it's basketball, football, whatever, is the white hat discussing it with his crew. And Kevin Welsh, the head linesman, helped out there. Back to throw is Joey Nahas, rolls to his right, fires it out. Pass is caught, and that is Jeffrey Roberts, and he's loose at midfield, trying to turn the corner and slips a tackle and finally goes down. He'll be shy of the first down, but up to the original line of scrimmage to the 45-yard line of Southeast Polk.
15-yard run. for Jeffrey Roberts, and he ran about 30, and he ran all the way across the field trying to use that speed to outrun everybody back into the defense, and great play by that young man, and now it's 2nd and 10.
14-yard gain, but it was, remember, 1st and like 25 for Dowling on that last play. So Roberts picked up some of that. So it's 2nd and 10 Maroons, and now penalty flag down.
One thing that you're going to see the coach not happy about after this game is when you get up by that much mentally, you're trying to stay as sharp, and right now they're not staying as sharp. And I don't know how many procedure plays we've seen. We've seen a bunch. 5?
At least 5 on my count. And Brian Morris, I know that's got to be a point of concern. You mentioned maybe somebody saying something down there, but they have not gotten through that.
Yeah, it was. They really haven't, guys. They come out again when you're up 38-0. It's a little tougher, but I think you're right, Matt. I mean, you got to come out and just want to. You want to just keep your foot on the gas and just keep pounding away.
Yeah, and as a coach, you can say everything you want, but the kids still can see the scoreboard, and they know they're playing against Southeast Polk, and they're up with a running clock, 38-0 halftime. It is hard to say, it's 0-0 coming out, and that's the thing you try to say, but it doesn't happen.
All right, 3rd and 14 for the Maroons as Middleton picks up a few yards, and now here is Nahas back to throw. He fires it out, caught by Jeffrey Roberts right at the 40-yard line. It'll pick up 8 yards, but Dowling will be shy of the first down by about 6. It'll bring up 4th and 6 Dowling at the Polk 40.
And you see Coach Wilson here thinking about going for it on 4th down here, and you're in no man's land. And 5, here they go. Now that the punt team comes out.
Yeah, they'll get Schmidt in there to pooch punt it and put it in the coffin corner and really pin him back. But game clock continues to run. 4th and 6 for the Maroons from the Southeast Polk 40. Dowling will send in Schmidt in the punt. Backup tailback for the Maroons. And now we've got a timeout. Southeast Polk will take it with them. 5:34 to go here in the 4th quarter. Dowling 38, Southeast Polk 7. Will return to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.
Powered by you. This is listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 105.5 KIHS, Perry, Des Moines, 89.3 KDVM, Mason City, and 89.9 KCSL, Spencer, Spirit Lake.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com. 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more. Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com.
All right, welcome back to Valley Stadium, and now pass into the end zone, touchdown Dowling, as Joey Nahas back to throw and finds Jeffrey Roberts from 40 yards out on 4th and 6. The Maroons go for it, Matt.
Southeast Polk calls a timeout to stop the clock, and it allowed Coach Wilson to say, you know what, I think we're going to go for it. And that was probably the best football throw I've seen from Joey Nahas. You roll him out against his arm and throws it back in there as Jeffrey Roberts cleared into the back of the end zone, wide open, 6 points, 44, soon to be 45.
And Joey Nahas, 4th touchdown, 2 to Roberts, and 2 to Drexler. And Drexler has a punt return. Extra point is good. And Dowling now leading 45-7. And the running clock back in play. So we'll take a timeout with 5:26 to go, 4th quarter. Dowling 45, Southeast Polk 7 along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is a segment about small Catholic innovations that made a huge impact from the OSV Institute for Catholic Innovation. Back when water was difficult to purify, beer was actually the standard drink because the fermentation process killed harmful bacteria. but it wasn't all that tasty and didn't last very long. This is where Catholics upped the ante with two major contributions. The first came from monasteries, where monks needed heartier beers to get them through long periods of fasting. So they experimented with flavorings and techniques to make it more robust. The second contribution came from St. Hildegard von Bingen. She's the first person credited with using hops in beer to preserve it. And it didn't hurt that hops added great flavors too. So you can thank Catholic innovation for beer. Learn more about what OSV Institute is doing to inspire and encourage Catholic innovation at osvinstitute.com.
All right, Dowling going 9 plays and 67 yards, capped off by Jeffrey Roberts' 40-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Joey Nahas, his 4th touchdown of the night by Nahas. Roberts' 2nd touchdown reception. Drexler has 2 touchdown receptions and a punt return, and that's all in one night, Coach Maindring.
Yeah, that's
45-7 Maroons.
That's a big night.
Wow.
And against one of the better teams in the state, and they just dismantled them tonight offensively. And here we go with and when's the last time Southeast Polk's had a running clock against them?
Long time ago.
Yeah,
you
might have to go a decade.
Ago. This is a 4-time defending champs.
Right.
They picked the baton up from Dowling. All right, the Rams with the football, and here is quarterback Boston Bailey in there, number 16, fires the ball out, caught by Cantrell, and he gets across the 45 and run out of bounds.
Really nice throw, and just about, and I can't see I believe it was Joel Sanko ran underneath that and almost had it picked off. And now you're going to see the running clock take place. Even though it's a first down and he went out of bounds, the clock's going to keep churning here as we tick down to 4 minutes to go. And Southeast Polk is not acting with any sense of urgency as they huddle and they just want to huddle up and put a drive together and go home.
Yeah, Boston Bailey, the 5'11", 175-pound sophomore, completed his 2nd pass to Cantrell. He's thrown for a touchdown this year, wearing number 16. In relief of Austin Mark, Dowling with the lead comfortably with the running clock. It's 1st and 10 Rams from the 49, and they'll give it to the tailback back there. And he's stood up at the 50-yard line and brought back. So a gain of 1 to bring up 2nd and 9.
And that was Kamari and Phillip. And CJ's younger brother, right? Is that what you said?
That is
right?
true.
And it was him up the middle and Carlos Blount with the stop and no gain. Or gain of a half a yard, probably.
And the Rams substituting on offense, so is the Dowling defense. We'll get some names in there. They've got some starters still in, and Rams will send out a receiver. Cantrell split out wide right. Southeast Polk going right to left on your screen, and right in front of us, south to north, here at the Valley Stadium, the final 3 minutes of the 4th quarter. And here is Bailey back to throw, being chased, fires it out, pass incomplete, tried to hit Phillip out of the backfield, and Kamarian couldn't catch up, incomplete. Stops the clock with 2:51 remaining.
Yeah, McLaughlin was given chase right there to Bailey and forced him to throw it off his back foot and put a little air under it. Couldn't get to it.
Well, we got the Beaverdale Fall Festival folks going in tonight. I'm going to try to get the concert over by Holy Trinity and Christopher's. That'll be going on. Oktoberfest going on. Des Moines Oktoberfest at Waterworks Park. And Matt, Grandparents' Mass, Thursday, October 2nd, and there's been a little bit of change. I don't have to be the Uber driver from Walmart anymore, apparently.
You do not have to be the Uber driver from Walmart.
Bailey back to throw, and he's hit and dropped.
Well, no, he got the ball off,
but he's
completed.
Dropped, and the ball got complete. Oh, maybe for a first down. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, they're going to get a first down out of it. He makes a nice throw there.
Right at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, the sophomore has thrown the ball really well. He's been impressive here as he's turned it loose. Yes, Grandparents' Mass, a little different because we added those 3 classrooms. We moved some bleachers, but even so, the Mass was outgrowing our gym space. And even last year, we took half of the freshman class that didn't have grandparents there, and they went to the chapel, and we live streamed it up into the chapel, and it just wasn't a good feel. And so after this play, I'll discuss.
All right, Bailey back. Fires out, caught by Cantrell, first down, Southeast Polk inside the 25. Beautiful pass that time. by backup quarterback Boston Bailey as he found his tight end, T. Cantrell, the leading receiver.
And now with the minute and 15 to go, Southeast Polk is going with a little more urgency as they're inside the 30-yard line. But what we're going to do is school's going to start late that day, so it's going to be a 10 o'clock start on October 2. And we're going to invite all the grandparents in at 7:30 to kind of go around the classrooms with their grandkids.
All right, handoff up the middle, and this might be Phillip. If not, it is
Southeast Polk, I think, is going to call timeout, stop the clock.
Yes, they are. Phillip with the carry, and he gets down inside the 20 to the 19, a gain of 3. We'll keep it here. We'll get Brian involved here with 55 seconds remaining. 45-7, Dowling with the lead. With 55 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter, let's go down to our Jenny Farrell team Remax Concepts sideline report with Brian Morris.
So, Matt, you said the grandparents are coming in at 7:30 a.m.?
Well, grandparents, we figured they're early risers.
Good strategy. No, I think that's a good idea. Because, I know when my kids were out at Dowling, the grandparent mass was so special. My parents would go every one. So it's a good opportunity for the grandparents to go around the classrooms, which is kind of something new. That's cool.
Yeah, it's something a little different. And then we're going to start Mass at 8:15. Mass will go 8:15 to 9:15 for everybody, and the grandparents and the grandkids will be there. And then the grandkids will stay, and the grandparents will leave, and we'll start school at 10 o'clock. And then we don't have to bus people in, and we're going to give this a shot and see how it goes.
Matt, I've made a lot of tips as an Uber driver going from Walmart to Dowling with those grandparents because they just love that. I've lost my gig, huh?
You've lost your gig.
Jeez. Okay, well, that's, again, on coming up on Thursday, October 2nd.
Yep.
Grandparents Mass. Back to throw is the Rams. They fired in the end zone. Penalty flags down as a nice ball that time by Boston Bailey and tried to hit his intended receiver in the end zone. But penalty flags are going to bring all that back. And he was working on his nice tall wide receiver that time who he couldn't get or he couldn't find, but he was close.
They're going to call defensive pass interference, I believe.
Aiden Levy was the intended receiver, and officials are talking over spot and what it is.
They're going to mark it off. Puts it inside the 10.
First down.
I mean, the penalties, even though the Maroons have put up a lot of points, they've got a lot of penalty yards tonight as well.
Yes, they do. First and goal, Southeast Polk at the Dowling 10 with 43 seconds remaining. Maroons leading 45-7. Keep in mind, we'll have our post-game show. Brian Morris will catch up with a couple of Dowling players. I think we have them identified. And we also will catch up with Tom Wilson. So CISN and Iowa Catholic Radio will simulcast that. Back to throw is Bailey. Fires in the end zone. Pass is caught. Across the goal line. Touchdown, Southeast Polk. Good ball that time. Once again thrown by the sophomore backup quarterback Boston Bailey as he found his receiver on a crossing route into the end zone. Touchdown, Southeast Polk.
Yeah, he's been impressive. I tell you, the young man, the sophomore, Boston Bailey, has done a good job.
That was Cantrell, the receiver.
Yeah, of throwing the football. And he had a hand in his face there as Dowling brought a blitz, and he stood in and fired it. And Cantrell catches it in the end zone for the second touchdown of the night.
All right, here is the extra point up and good by the Rams and Samar Arafa. Perfect on the night, 2 for 2. So it's 45-14, our score. Dowling leading Southeast Polk. 22 seconds remaining. We'll have the kickoff coming up in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.
Thought of the Day with Monsignor Frank Bagnano.
How would you define love? One definition is this: seeing the good news in another person, accompanied by a feeling of empathy. It's so easy to focus on another's shortcomings, faults, failures, sins, and defects. It takes love to focus on another's good qualities and their virtues, not denying their shortcomings, but focusing your attention on another's good qualities. That decision to go positive is called love. It's a choice, often followed by a feeling of empathy for that person. And that's how you can show love. It begins by focusing on another person's good qualities. And that's today's Thought of the Day.
All right, we're back here at Southeast Polk and Dowling here at Valley Stadium. Rams go 8 plays, 66 yards, capped off by touchdown pass from backup quarterback Boston Bailey to Teague Cantrell, the tight end, and now the extra point good, and Dowling on the return. Rams get it up across the 20 and maybe to the 21-yard line as Dowling takes the ball, and I believe off the bottom of that pile for the Maroons. I think it's Owen McConville, if I'm not mistaken.
Will what? I think it should be just take a knee time here.
Yeah, but Brian, you're getting yourself set. You go through the proper channels as we go down to our Jenny Farrell sideline report. You got your proper channels to get to our.
Yeah, I got Todd Crandall's my handler down here, so we work through it.
You don't use Pollock anymore?
No, Todd is the man. He has 84 years of Dowling coaching in him.
Yes, he does. That is true. Here's a handoff to Schmidt, and Henry carries across the 25, and that'll be the final play of the game. The Maroons will win it 45-14, the final. Dowling led 38-0 at halftime, and Southeast Polk put up 14 points in the second half. Dowling had the Jeffrey Roberts 40-yard touchdown pass from Nahas, only scoring by the Maroons in the second half. The Maroons win it. They go to 3-1, ranked 4th in 5A. Southeast Polk will fall to 2-2 as Dowling defeats Southeast Polk 45-14 here at West Des Moines Valley Stadium here in West Des Moines. Alongside Matt Mandring, I'm Mark Hamadil. We'll have the final statistics. Brian Morris on the field. We'll catch up with head coach Tom Wilson and some Dowling players. We'll have interviews. But we're going to take a 2-minute break along our network lines. Aaron Bandy with CISN and Roman Wilkham, our studio producer for Iowa Catholic Radio, will take a 2-minute break. Again, the final. Dowling 45, Southeast Polk 14 on Iowa Catholic Radio at 105.5 FM and CISN.TV.
Building a relationship with a primary care doctor is one of the easiest ways to stay healthy. Schedule your annual checkup with a Mercy One doctor so you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com, 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
From DeSoto to Maxwell and everywhere at iowacatholicradio.com or the Iowa Catholic Radio app. Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. CTOiowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. Have you ever noticed that most people think that rules apply to others but not to themselves? They always consider themselves to be the exception. But what ends up happening is that everybody is an exception, and so the rules don't apply to anybody. The result is something worse than chaos. It's a loss of all the categories of respect and justice. G.K. Chesterton says that when the exception has become the rule, that is the worst of all possible tyrannies. When the cardinal, formerly known as Ratzinger, gave his final homily before the papal conclave, he said, "We are living under the tyranny of relativism." What is relativism? It's when there are no rules, only exceptions. The man about to become Pope was echoing Chesterton exactly. Want more than a minute? Chesterton.org.
Welcome back to the post-game show here along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN. Final score from Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, Dowling 45, Southeast Polk 14. As we simulcast tonight, Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN. The Maroons put up 38 points in the first half and win it 45-14. Dowling led by quarterback Joey Nahas with 4 touchdown passes, 65 yards, 55 yards to Sam Drexler, 8 and 40 yards to Jeffrey Roberts. Ian Middleton, a 4-yard touchdown run. And Ryan Kuhn tonight, a 34-yard field goal, and he was 6 for 6 for extra points. Not a bad night for the Bruins, Mr. Matt Maindry.
No, not a bad night at all, and just a solid team win. And they came out and dominated the game right from the first snap, and what a ball game. And there you just on CISN, if anybody's still watching, you saw the one-handed catch by Sammy Drexler, which was amazing in the first half. And what a game by the Maroons, a complete game by the Maroons. And I believe Brian has Joey Nahas.
Yes, he does. Ryan, let's go down to Brian Morris with our photographer of CISN, Sam Nord, and he has the Dowling quarterback with 4 touchdowns, Joey Nahas. Take it away, Brian.
Yeah, Joey, 4 touchdowns tonight. Talk about the performance by the offense against this touted Southeast Polk team.
I mean, we knew Southeast Polk's defense was going to be good when we were coming in. Our coaches got us well prepared all week, throughout the whole week. I mean, all the film, all the preparation, that's the reason why we played so well tonight.
First play of the game, second play of the game, you hit Drexler for a touchdown, really gets the team sparked, and it really got the team rolling.
I mean, that's just all Sam. I mean, I threw it behind the line of scrimmage. He went 50 yards and scored, so that's just all him.
So we're 4 games into it. Again, you played some last year, but you're starting to get more comfortable in the role of the quarterback. What's kind of on the horizon over the next several weeks for the Maroons?
I mean, yeah, every game you just get more experience, makes you better and better. Just watching film, preparing with the team, it makes it easier every week.
Mark?
Well, Joey, I'm going to ask you, how's baseball helped you in football? Because you play third base in baseball, you throw it over to first base. Sometimes your twin brothers over there playing, but how's that transferred to football?
I mean, it's kind of the same motion with the bottom half and all the lifts in the off season. It's just really working on getting my arm stronger, more velo on the ball for both sports.
Joey, this is Mr. Maindring, and tonight I said before the game that I thought this was going to be an inflection point for you for the year, and you really came out with a lot of confidence and threw the ball with a lot of confidence. And honestly, that last one that you threw to Jeffrey might have been the best throw of the year. What do you think?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, what was it, like 4th and 6? I knew I had to get the ball off, and then Jeffrey's the fastest guy on the field, so he just ran past the defender, did the rest of the work.
Talk about your confidence right now and behind that offensive line and the weapons that you have and Ian Middleton running the football. Talk about where the mindset of this offense is right now.
I mean, yeah, when our O-line's so good, Ian, he's such a good running back. It makes the passing game easier, and this just felt good after we didn't play well against DCG. Only putting up, I don't even know how much, but wasn't enough for sure. So.
Hey, what's Pagano doing?
Yeah, Pagano, he's trying to get on camera there.
I don't know, he's just messing with
me. The defense just couldn't get on the camera tonight, guys. We had to get the offense.
Leo's trying to get a cameo there off to the side.
Well, Joey, I know you've got West Waterloo next week, but it's homecoming week, so some distractions out there. I didn't see your name on the homecoming court, so you should be pretty focused for West Waterloo next Friday.
Yeah, we just got to stay locked in. We should win that game. Come out, execute, do our job.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, and
Joey.
Congratulations.
The one thing I remember, Joey had a nice scramble for a first down, or at least 9 yards tonight, and I never saw your dad run that well.
And you never will, Brian.
That's true.
All right. That's Brian Morris with Joey Nahas, a Dowling quarterback who threw for 4 touchdowns tonight against Southeast Polk. 2 of them to Sam Drexler of 65 and 55 yards. And then Jeffrey Roberts to 8 and 40 yards. Of course, Drexler had a 55-yard punt return. They're getting him all geared up down there as we'll go back down the field with Brian Morris. And, of course, I think he's got Sammy all set up.
Yeah, he's got Sammy ready to go.
And, of course, Sam Nord is our photographer for CISN. Want to get her mentioned. And, Brian, take it away with Sam Drexler.
So, Sam, you came out first play, second play of the game, touchdown. You really sparked the Maroons against the Southeast Polk game.
Could you say that again?
You that touchdown really sparked this team in that first drive.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think people give the credit to me, but really it's to Jeffrey Roberts and Quinn Schmobach. I mean, they went 2 for 2, hat on the hat, and then I just got loose and used my speed. So it's really just on that blocking that helped me.
And then you had the punt return. Again, it was a good punt. It took you back. You made a couple moves, and then I said you only had one guy to beat the punter, and if you weren't going to beat him, that was going to be bad news for you.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. If I got tackled by the punter, I think Wilson would have given me an earful, so that would have been fun for sure.
Hey, Sammy, I got a question about that punt return. Did we have the punt block on that?
Wait,
the one you returned for the touchdown.
The pump block?
Yeah.
The punt block was on because they sent 9 guys.
It seemed like we sent 9 guys.
Yeah,
and
you were a lone wolf back there.
Yeah, you were all by yourself.
Yeah, well, honestly, my back plate fell out, so I ran out super quick, so I didn't even know what punt thing we were on. But I mean, I caught the ball, went to the right, and they were just amazing blocking all around. So can't do it out with my guys.
And then the last catch you had in the end zone, it was a beautiful catch. Again, this offense tonight started clicking, and again, that's what this team's going to need as you go forward.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a great win here tonight. I mean, 45-14. Offense really showed out. Defense did too, but we just gotta get better. Practice every day. It's a grind.
Hey,
Mark?
Yep, Sam, I got one question for you. Talk about your position coach, Jimmy Cataldo. Talk about what he brings into practice every day. You and Jeffrey Roberts and the rest of the receivers and Jimmy Nahas. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about Cataldo, he's definitely a perfectionist, but I think that it makes us just strive better and just run. Even if our routes are just like 99% perfect, there's always like that one little thing we can always get better at. And, we can get better at everything we do, and he pushes us in every way possible. So it's great to have him on the staff with us.
All right, good to know. Appreciate it, Sammy.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the win.
Congratulations, Sammy.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Sammy Drexler, what a night in the Dowling uniform for him. 2 touchdown receptions and a 55-yard punt return all in the first half. Let's go back down the field, and that's Brian Morris with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling as the Maroons win it 45-14 over Southeast Polk. Brian?
Coach, we talked at halftime. Again, the first half was so incredible for the Maroons. Tough to keep that kind of momentum going, but again, you come out of here with a big victory against the Southeast Polk Rams.
Yeah, great win. Really happy for our kids. Impressed the way we played in the first half. Honestly, in the second half, they had the long run and they kind of run us over right in the hole. And then he takes it the distance, and then we have a long touchdown called back and those things. But it got a little ugly at times. But really, good win for us. I'm really proud of our kids. Beat a program like that fairly soundly.
You're 4 weeks into the season, Coach. What have you seen out of this team over the first 4 weeks, where they were week 1 to now?
Yeah, we're a more physical team right now. I think we've gotten better on the offensive line. I think defensively, we've gotten a lot better, and still putting things together special teams wise. Which obviously Drexler had a big play tonight, but there's other things on field position and things like that a lot don't see that are pretty important too.
Mark?
Coach, I thought the thing that impressed me tonight outside was all phases of the game in the first half, but Smid punting the football. I mean, that's been a struggle area for you this year, and he really came on and nailed some tonight.
Used 3 guys in the punt game, and Smid especially when you're about the 50-yard line and you're trying to pin one in, he's really good at that. And he's done a nice job. Honestly, Henry's going to be a really good player for us for the next couple of years.
And Coach, tonight, the balance on offense and defense, striking first, getting off to a great start, but I know the penalties, the procedure calls, that's something I know that, not being a perfectionist, but you always said that find something to work on, and that might be the downfall tonight, the penalties.
Well, I think so, and we'll have their attention on that.
I'm sure you will. Coach, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the win, and enjoy homecoming this week.
All right, thank you.
You bet. That is Brian Morris with head coach Tom Wilson. Hey, you got to get him to laugh about something.
Yeah, you're going to get their attention. I think you will.
Yeah, they will. Well,
yeah.
Right now we're going to say so long to our CISN crew because they get to pack up their cameras. Iowa Catholic Radio, we'll be back with our final segment. Give Brian a little bit more time to get up here. Our thanks to our CISN crew led by Aaron Bandy, our press box studio producer, if you will, right here at Valley Stadium. And then the gals did a great job tonight. Marion Bailey and Megan Stevens up here, and Sam Nord on the sideline. They were our photographers if you're watching on CISN on our simulcast. So our thanks to them. Again, the final, it was Dowling defeating Southeast Polk 45-14, and CISN will rejoin the broadcast next week with Week 5, and we'll say so long on the CISN side. On Iowa Catholic Radio, we'll continue with our broadcast tonight. We'll have one more segment coming up. We'll get some final stats in, if I think we got them all, from Coach Seifert, so we'll bring those to you as folks file out of Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. The parking lot's starting to clear out. Again, the final, Dowling 45, Southeast Polk 14. Back with more in the post-game segment on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Every heart-pounding play.
Caught inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line, 1st and 10 Maroons.
Join the Maroon crew all season long on 105.5 KIHS Perry, Des Moines.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formalwear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formalwear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Final time tonight. Thanks to Roman Wilkham and company back at the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios. We are now radio only, as we were simulcasting tonight with CISN. We'll do the same next week. It'll be homecoming for Dowling as they host West Waterloo here at Valley Stadium, and that'll be a whole different deal all week. And our guy, Mr. Maindring, you have to get rested up. Brian, you're back up here in the press box. What a
just
night.
Keep talking a little bit, you guys, between yourselves.
Just
I have to climb, 47 steps.
You do that every day. That's part of your workout.
It was a good football game for Dowling Catholic tonight.
Struck first. Got off. I mean, the first touchdown of the night, third play from scrimmage. They found Drexler in one of his 3 touchdowns on the night, 2 receiving and 1 punt return. And good interviews down there. The guys did a good job with you.
They did. I think the offense, again, the first few weeks they just were a little inconsistent. Tonight they played really good football. Second half, again, like you said, Mark, with Coach, with some of the penalties and things. But they played good football, kind of balanced between the pass and the run. And it was just an overall great game for the Maroons.
It was. And, it was fun to call. Hard to believe. I didn't have that on my bingo card, leading 38-0. And you got 2 of the top 10 teams that have also won 11 of the last titles. Dowling won 7, and Southeast Polk has won 4 state titles. I never had that on my bingo card, but that sometimes happens. I think Southeast Polk has considered their backup quarterback that came in and did a nice job, Boston Bailey. But that'll be something Coach Linovich will figure out. But what a night it was, and the Maroons. They struck that obviously was Dowling's best game of the year overall.
No, absolutely. I mean, I said to Coach at halftime, I think that was the best half of football that Dowling's played in several years. That was a really good football, first half football game.
Of course, next week Dowling will host West Waterloo, and that'll be back into district action. Tonight was a non-district game. And I think the next several are. There's only one game that's not a district game, and that means a lot as far as being a district champion. That's basically kind of an automatic berth. And Mr. Maynard's got the stats. I know people in their cars waiting to get out of here saying, well, are you going to read my son's name and how many yards he had? Go ahead.
Before my phone dies, I was trying to get through some things, but I don't see the rushing stats on here. I can't see how many yards Middleton had. But Joey Nahas, what a night. 20 of 28 for 314 yards and 4 touchdowns. 11 yards per pass, and like he said, a couple of those were, the one was a quick out to Drexler, and he takes it in for a touchdown. He runs 50 yards, but he threw some rockets tonight that were really good. And Drexler ends up with 10 catches for 164 yards. Roberts has 7 catches for 123 yards. Both those young men had 2 touchdowns. Jimmy Nahas had 1 for 13, and Schmalbach had 1 for 8 yards. And Preston Hoffbauer had 1 for 6 yards on the night. And so I don't know if did you see the rushing stats? I didn't see those.
I do. Dowling had 104 yards rushing, 314 yards passing for 418 total yards. Southeast Polk 145 yards on the ground, 111 in the air for 256 yards total offense. But this is where I was going with Coach. 9 penalties for Dowling tonight, 65 yards. Yeah. And Southeast Polk penalized once for 1 yard.
And that one penalty was about
95 yards.
Yeah, it was a 95-yard penalty.
Yes.
It was a touchdown.
Touchdown called back.
Yeah, but Middleton, of the 104 yards rushing, Middleton probably had 90 of those yards, and Pennington had a few yards in there. But, just a balanced night overall. But I really thought, I was going to say in the first quarter, the only thing they missed was a safety. You about had the Yahtzee card filled there. I mean, or the bingo card filled, because you had the interception, you had the field goal, you had the punt return for the touchdown, and you had all phases of the game going.
Austin Marr, 2 of 6 passing for Southeast Polk for 10 yards and an interception. Boston Bailey, 7 out of 10 passing for 101 yards and a touchdown. And have the
rushing
yards
aren't in there.
Yep, they aren't in there. You have to work on that with the math teacher.
I don't know. Yeah, we have to get him going. When all the state looks at the scores tonight, they're going to look at this one and go, "Wow."
Yeah.
I think you're right. It surprised me again. I do think you look at like you guys said in pregame, the quarterback play. I mean, the last 3 quarterbacks here or Southeast Polk have gone on to play, in Division I, and it's hard to reload with that kind of talent every year.
Yeah, the Boston Bailey kid. Nothing against Austin Marr. Boston Bailey came in and threw the ball really pretty well. Anyway, I've got a couple scores. Mark, Waukee Northwest over Prairie, 45-10, and my phone just died. Yeah, okay. And Valley was up on Waukee, 35-25. And Ankeny, I believe, was up on Centennial at one point here.
So Mrs. Maindring, when Matt's out for a few more hours, his phone's quote-unquote dead.
How about this? I have a phone charger with me, but it's the newer one, and he's got an older one, which I find hard to believe.
Apple is not dumb, are they?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm streaming the Van Meter game on my phone while I'm doing this, so and I believe they won 47 to something.
And the reason for it is because his son's the offensive coordinator, first year at Van Meter.
Yeah.
And so I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Got things going on.
I can't believe you didn't have an Iowa score once during that game.
Well, because my brother's there. Oh. I guess he's off on his parish retreat. He must be taking a trip to New York.
In New York, at Rutgers?
I'm going to look it up now because, Brian, I'd forgotten completely about the Iowa game because I'm focused on this.
That's good. I have to say, the crowd tonight was a little less on both sides of the field, and I do wonder if having college football on a Friday night impacts that, which I can't believe it does not.
More people watching at home. There's so many things going on tonight. As you talked about the Beaverdale thing.
Fall Festival, downtown, I'm headed there.
And, just so many things going on the weekends. I was kind of surprised about the crowd as well. But it's a beautiful night, too.
It is.
So
Iowa and Rutgers tied at 21 in the third quarter. So there'll be that to watch as we get unpacked here and packed up and go.
Or unwatch. I don't know. That's not.
could be.
That's not promising.
Could be.
Right
that's not looking good. But there's always that fourth quarter.
That's right. It won't matter once they win. It's a W.
That's right. So, Matt, what do you want our listeners to know? If you're a Dowling fan and you have homecoming this week, what should they know?
I think, it's a dress-up day every day for the kids, and it's a fun week.
Starting tonight it was here in the press box with those
that's the normal, Mark. The seniors wear the white uniforms, and they decorate them. I don't know. Anyway, they have themes going on all week, and it's just a fun week. It reminds you, this is what high school is about. And our kids have been great all year in the building. We've had a great start, and they're doing what they're being asked to do. And this week it gives everyone a little breather, and we have a little fun, and the teachers dress up as well. And it culminates with the Hall of Fame induction on Friday afternoon, followed by the pep rally, and you have the homecoming court. Mm-hmm. I can see all the kids' faces, but I would mess the name up, so I'm not going to try to tell you who's on the court right now.
Oh, we have it right here.
You have it right here?
I do.
Okay.
And so I'll let you go. Yeah.
So it's the King candidates are Joaquin Antezano, and we have Ryan Bobo, John Chido.
John Henry.
Mm-hmm. He's got that going, and then Maddox Coppola, Elijah Reisenberg, and Jeffrey Roberts. The Queen candidates are Hannah Cotran, Alexa Fry, Julia Shoup, Julia Timmons, and Anita Tombe, and Ellie Van Brocklin. And it's a great group of kids, and just a lot of fun this week.
So
we got a Powder Puff football game, I think, late Tuesday night, and that's always a highlight for the girls.
I think Brian coached one of those teams one year.
I definitely coached one. I coached one in college.
See?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You're a free agent coach. You figured one of the classes would pick you up at Dowling now. They don't.
That's right. I'm sure they have the senior boys and the junior boys and the sophomores always love to do that.
I'll tell you, like I told Mark Coulier, we don't run the trap anymore, so you were running that in Powder Puff games. Don't run the trap anymore.
No, speaking of on the sideline, I did see Ava Zediger.
Yeah, they came up
she
here.
was down on the sideline tonight. I saw her.
And what was the other?
I think it was the Tryon girl.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that would be
Trenton.
Yeah. You know, and you start to see that this week now because you get alumni coming back and all the things that happen with homecoming week, and it's just a lot of fun. Then we have the dance on Saturday night, which I get to go to. You know,
you get to MC that, or just you're chaperone. That's right.
Just hang out at the.
hang out.
Just hang out with.
Morris used to do that too. Yeah,
my wife and I. Well, my wife really. I kind of tagged along. And Margie, we ran post prom one year.
Once. Yeah.
Was it? What was the theme?
I don't know. It was a lot of freaking
Vegas?
work.
Was it
I
Vegas?
know. It was in the Dowling gym. It was a good time. The kid and the food. The food was constant.
Buffet,
but it was good.
Well,
that's my wife usually chaperones all the dances with me, and otherwise we don't get to see each other on some of these things. But it's fun, and the kids are fun, and it's always a fun time.
Well, it was a fun time tonight, especially if you're a Dowling fan. And we got to recognize our opponents from Southeast Polk. Our thanks to Brad Zelenovich and the whole staff over there. Brad's a top-flight guy. I remember calling his games at Simpson College. You know who his head coach was at Simpson?
Jim Williams.
And we had some Jim Williams stories that we shared the other day when we were going. But our thanks to Brad Zelenovich and the Southeast Polk team. Next week they were home against Ottumwa, so that'll be a get-right game for them, I'm sure. For Dowling, they'll take on West Waterloo next Friday night. From Mr. Mandring, thank you so much. Appreciate your perspective, especially when we go on TV. I love that. You just go on TV, and we got replay here.
Going on.
The CISN folks did a great job, so appreciate all that. And Brian, you're on the Dowling sideline. Did pretty well down there tonight.
It was good. I saw the dad's dance.
How'd that go?
Good. Who was it? Joey Chido. That Joey was down there with his daughter and.
Jim Wilberding and his daughter Jeet.
There was a lot of dads out there. Some of them had rhythm, some
Katie.
didn't. But
I'm looking, it's like, there's a lot of dads down there.
Yeah.
How'd they do? What'd you give the dads?
I'd give them maybe a 6 or 8.
6, 2, and 8. So that means they didn't practice much.
No, I mean there were a few really good ones.
They go to those 5 a.m., 6 o'clock practices, but yet they're supposed to do that on their own, some other stuff, and they don't. And you can tell their
they had fun with
off.
their daughters. That's the important thing.
Well,
the band was out there tonight, and they looked really sharp. They have quite the routine out there, and Mr. Holland, Mr. Hoover do a great job with those kids, and the color guard. It's just a fun night. We talk about this every year, but on any given night, on any given Friday night, we have our band, which has about 100 kids. You get a football team that's got about 100 kids, and it seems like we have 100 cheerleaders and dance kids out there too.
You do,
but there's about 50 of them, and so then you take another 400, 500, 600 kids and put them in the crowd. It's a great
fun
night
time.
High school.
And want to recognize the kid captain tonight was James Seidel, 7th grader student from St. Francis of Assisi Catholic School and Church over in West Des Moines. So congratulations to James Seidel. We'll have another kid captain next week. I'd love that, as Ryan Vode has done a great job bringing that to Dowling home football games. So
we had some energy at halftime too, didn't we, Mark?
Oh, my goodness, I haven't recovered from that. Our thanks to Mary Beth Wiskus and all that group with Klein, Gredeke, Muller, Tessa. We're missing. It's like the 4 captains, and it was just overwhelmed. I was intimidated, Brian, because I know they can hit that ball and spike it 100 miles an hour.
Well, when I was getting ready for my interviews down there, again, Ava Zediker, she was down there, and again, she's 6'2", right? And she was towered by a few of the volleyball players down there.
Yeah,
and those are big girls. But
good group of kids.
Mrs. Wiskus has a great program out there.
She does a great job, and we appreciate having her up and telling her their story. What a year they have, and they're on their trek for another state tournament berth, we hope. All right, gentlemen, thank you, and we'll talk to you next Friday night, homecoming for Dowling.
Homecoming week. Then we're getting right into the pancake breakfast in October.
We're knocking on the door of that. All right, well, that'll wrap up our broadcast on Iowa Catholic Radio. Roman Wilkham, our studio producer, and had help back there in the studio. Thanks, Roman. Great job. Our thanks to all the folks at Dowling, including head coach Tom Wilson, who's also the athletic director, Jared Herring, Colleen Webb, everybody back in the office. We appreciate them. Our next broadcast will be next Friday night, September 26th, West Waterloo at 4th-ranked Dowling. Pregame at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. Yes, it's homecoming and Athletic Hall of Fame induction. Next week we'll have all that with our broadcast on Iowa Catholic Radio, and we'll simulcast with CISN. For Brian Morris and Matt Mainring, I'm Mark Amadale. Thank you for joining us for our broadcast. Well, again, the final, Dowling 45, Southeast Polk 14. The Maroons improved their record to 3-1. Southeast Polk falls to 2-2. And until next time, have a safe and blessed faith-filled weekend.
Dowling Catholic Football and Iowa Catholic Radio has been brought to you by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Blessman International, Fast Signs, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, Iowa Wealth Management, the Jenny Farrell Team with Remax Concepts, and Bosun the Florist. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The preceding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.